Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Good morning, Chris Hill. Glad to have you. Chris, if you want to be a part of the conversation, we open up the phone lines and it is 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. We'd love to have you as a part of the conversation. We got a topic we're going to talk about today, but we always start with a starter topic. And the starter topic that we're going to start with today is a real simple one, man. Only asking the question, what is a conversation that two people should have before they start dating? What is a conversation that most people should have before they started dating? A lot of times people jump into these relationships and they're in there with each other, and then they start finding out things about each other that they don't like, that they not really appreciative of. So my question is a real simple. What is some of the things, what are some of the conversations that you should have before you start dating? Is there a conversation? Or is it just a situation that I like you, you like me, let's go out? I like you, you like me, let's date each other. Is it really that simple? Or should there be some conversations? If there is it Miss this is Elias Smith. Good morning, good morning. I hope I said your first name correctly. And we asking the question, what are some of the conversations that most people should have before they actually start dating? Is there a conversation? Is there such thing? Yes, I like you. Yes, you like me. Yes, we're very pleasing to each other's eyes. We're very pleasing. Um, I say it all the time. Young ladies, you might have that big butt, baby hair, and a smile. Is that enough? You get the big baby hair and a smile, but is that enough? Good morning, ID Dollar Tree. Good morning. Glad to have you with us. Is that enough? Big butt, baby hair, and a smile. She got that big butt, baby hair, and a smile. Is that enough for you all to date each other? I mean, I live here in Atlanta, and there's a lot of big butt, baby hairs, and smiles walking around, but I don't want to date all of them. As a matter of fact, I can't. I'm a married man. I can't date none of them. I got to date my wife. That's just what it is. But my thing is, big butt, baby, and a smile. And ladies, if you are, let me make sure I say this. Is that Zoe PZ1? Zoe PZ1. I hope I said your name right. Please excuse me if I didn't. It wasn't intentional. I might have tortured it. But good morning. Glad to have you as well. Now, here in Atlanta, the young ladies, what 6 foot four muscles and tall, dark, and handsome. I think that's how they say it. Tall, dark, and handsome. Is that enough for you to date somebody? Or should you have a sit down and have a conversation? Should you have a dialogue with them? Find out what they're made of. What are they made of? What don't they have? What don't they have? You know, a lot of time I got a caller. Let me see who my caller is. Okay. Uh, Good morning, Mary. Good morning, boo. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
I am doing well. Mary, I'm asking a question, and I have conversation with different people from time to time, man, and we talk about different things. And I'm asking the question this morning: what kind of conversation should you have before you start dating someone? What is a conversation you should have before start? And I say a lot of times with the fellas, they say as long as you got a big butt, baby hair, and a smile, that's enough. We could work with anything else. But is that really enough to base a relationship on? Ladies, they say that they like them tall, dark, and handsome. As long as they're tall, dark, and handsome with a little bit of muscles or whatever, is that enough to start a relationship on? Tall, dark, and handsome, or big butt, baby hair. And I don't say baby hair now. I don't say baby hair. I say baby hair, big butt, baby hair, and a smile. Is that enough to start a relationship? What do you say to that, Mary?
No. I have a list of questions that
Mm-hmm.
I am going to start asking. I feel like you should know
Mm-hmm.
what they think love is. I feel like you should know their childhood trauma. I feel like you should know, how do they express their love? How do they feel love?
Mm-hmm.
What do they need in a relationship? What are their boundaries? What
Mm-hmm.
things have happened in your past relationships that made you feel uneasy? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what are your goals in life? Things like that. Like, you should know those types of things. What about family life? How's your family?
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. Anything in your family that you don't know? Anything but you need to know about? Does anybody think that they're dating you? Is a very important question that should be asked.
Mm-hmm.
I think those types of things are things that you should know
Okay.
before.
Now,
actually dating someone.
now, should you should you want to meet some of their family, or just kind of maybe hang out with the family, find out what you're getting yourself into? Because sometimes sometimes if a person meet the family, they're like, oh no, I can't deal with these people right here. These people, man, these people crazy. I or you could decide, well, do I want to spend the rest of my life in a family like this? Could that be a determining factor?
Um, I don't think it's based off the family because I believe that people can be different from their family. Like, there's a lot of people in our family that does things that I would never do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean, what if my future spouse is like, well, I don't like people that smoke weed. Well, there's people in my family that smoke weed. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
people in my family do. So you're gonna not date me because of what my family does. You're
Mm-hmm.
not in a relationship with my family. You're in
Okay.
a relationship with me. You should be comfortable with my family because my family's around. I don't want you to feel uneasy, but at the same time, you have to understand that you're in a relationship with that person, not that person's family.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. So, no, and you said, I know you pointed out a few questions that you should ask. If you're a spiritual person, if you're a very spiritual person, should you ask, what's your spirituality? Do you believe in God? What is your take on God?
I would ask that, but I wouldn't press the issue only because I think spirituality and religion is a very fluid thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's times in my life where I lost my religion too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like there's at least 3 times I can think of that I was like, ain't no way there's somebody up in the sky. There's no
Mm-hmm.
way.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I
Okay.
found my faith again, but I feel like it's such a trying thing once you have to work at it that you can start dating somebody that's an atheist and then something happens and now they're a full on Christian.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's something that should be hard on. It should be something you talk about because if you do want children, that's something that you need to know. Okay, if you're not spiritual, how do you feel about going to church with the kids? How do you feel
Mm-hmm.
about going to church with just me? Like what my last relationship, he wasn't spiritual. He was a religious person. Well, no, he was a spiritual person, but wasn't religious.
Mm-hmm.
He
Okay.
believes he believes there is a God and everything like that, but he doesn't believe everything that every church says about God. If that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, which okay, cool. You live your life, you do you. I don't feel like your spouse should determine things like that because if you lose your faith, that don't change me getting to heaven. That's
Mm-hmm.
between you and God.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do I want to be with a Satanist? No,
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't be like, oh, you're not a Christian, then we can't be together. Like if I like the person and the person is right for me, the person is right for me. It's what I feel like.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, and I love what you said. Now, if the person is not very spiritual or religious, if you will, and you all are dating, and if you all decide to maybe lean toward taking that next step and maybe going to a marriage, and they're still not on the spiritual tip, would that be a deterrent?
No, not for me.
Okay.
I was on that about to be on the next step, and it wasn't a problem for me. I really don't put that much into that portion because I'm the type of person I don't play gospel music loud or out in public. I don't do that kind of stuff because I feel like it could be a persuasive thing, and you never know someone's relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to feel like I'm pushing something. As
Mm-hmm.
long as you believe, of God, then I'm fine with that. I mean, what you do with your relationship with God is between you and God. That's not between me because I could have been dating someone when hard things happen in my life that I didn't lose my religion. I wouldn't want to lose the person, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think I don't put a business out there, so never mind. But some people convert for their spouse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's fine too. It's based off your relationship with God and what you're willing to do to make yourself feel comfortable about your religion and also yourself feel comfortable. Like my last relationship, he doesn't go to church, but he would with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I asked him, okay, if I wanted to go to church, would you go? And he was like, yeah, I will go with you. If you want me to go somewhere with you, I will go. But
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be completely like into it, but I will go with you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's as long as you support the other person and you're willing to try to understand, then I feel like that's the most important way.
But it should not. It should never be a forced thing.
No, I've never forced the issue on anybody.
Okay. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. We're starting off this morning asking the question, what are some of the questions that you should ask? What are some of the things you should ask a person before you start to date them? You meet this person, and there's a chemistry between you two. There's a chemistry, and you really want to date the person. Badger says love is love. Badger, I sent you the link this morning. Where you at? Yeah, Badger said love is love, and to some extent, that is true. But love can hurt you too. Love can be very painful if it's not handled and dealt with in a proper way. It can oh, he said waiting on his coffee. Lord Jesus. But yeah, I think there should be some questions that would ask financially. How financially, and it's not like, and see, some people, some guys, I'm gonna tell you something here. Some guys feel a little thrown back when this question is asked. Happy holiday to you, Miss Beauty Deal One. Happy holiday to you as well. Thank you for joining us. Phone lines are open as well. If you want to be a part of the conversation, you can definitely give us a call. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. We're asking the question, what questions should you ask before you start dating someone? Now, if the lady would have asked him, how are you doing financially? Some guys will be taking about, oh, she's a gold digger. Maybe not. Maybe she just want to make sure that she's doing very well, and she don't want to feel as though she have to take care of you. She don't want another child. She want a spouse, and she don't want to feel as though she's having to take care of you. So, Mary, what do you say to that? If a lady asks that question, is it always a bad thing?
No, I think that's a necessary question. I think that should come if your relationship is becoming more serious because I mean I really don't care about your financial status if you're only gonna go on one date, to be completely honest.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're starting to get serious, then yeah, I would ask.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because otherwise, every time y'all going on a date, you got to end up pulling out your card or reaching into your pocketbook or something like that because that joker ain't got no money. And that
Yeah,
and
that's not. It should be equal. I don't think the man should pay for every date, and I don't think the woman should pay for every date.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, do you think the first couple of dates, and this could be a situation too, but do you think the first couple of dates should be on Dutch? Should be a Dutch type date?
Yeah,
Okay, well,
100%.
yeah, that I think that would be great. Toussaint, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Best I can with what I got.
There you go. There you go. Toussaint, this is not our topic for the day, man. But we start off with something, and what we're talking about this morning is what are some of the questions, Toussaint? Now, I always say big butt baby hair and a smile. She got that big butt baby hair and a smile. That's one thing. And the ladies like somebody that's tall, dark, and handsome. Is that enough to date? What are some of the questions that you should ask before you start dating someone?
Do you have any sense?
Lord, Lord, Lord. Do you have any sense? Oh, you're cray cray.
Hey man, look. We ain't got to the point in this society we need background checks.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm.
mean, um, I don't know, man. You can't do. It's dangerous now
Yeah.
because you might wind up with a serial killer. A
Mm-hmm.
stalker.
And we ain't talking about frosted flakes cereal either. Okay,
No,
go
no,
ahead.
no, 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 no. And then if you got children, you better be careful
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
got molesters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have on the other side, you have abusers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about they'll kill you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, really. I mean, sex trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
You have all of that to consider while you webbing the site to see your handsome guy or your figure eight.
Mm-hmm.
So So man, there's a lot to think about. I mean, really, and let me throw this out here, Raheem, because I know this is a Christian broadcast. I
Mm-hmm.
understand
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
this. Here's where I'm headed. Just being Christian ain't
Mm.
enough.
Come on. Yep. Yep. Come on. Come on.
I know we're supposed to be equally yoked,
Mm-hmm.
and I would prefer somebody that's close to where I am.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that I've been in the church all my life,
Yes, sir.
and I've met some crazy people.
In the church. The
Yes,
church.
sir. You
Mm-hmm.
talk about you talk about a vindictive, Bible toting missionary.
Mm. Mm. Tell the truth. Tell the
You
truth.
talk you talking about some trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Because see
Mm-hmm.
now, not only will they um uh come out the box, but they'll use the word to back it up.
Mm.
Yes,
Mm.
sir. Yep.
Okay.
And they'll call it they're praying about situation, but they got some witchcraft going on.
Mm-hmm. Come on. Yes, they do.
So
Yes, they do.
so I mean, you go on to Bassy Badger here, so I'm gonna shut up.
Okay. We got Badger here. We got some other people on the phone lines as well. But Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning?
It's another beautiful and blessed day. Was not expecting this conversation when I got up.
Absolutely. And you never know what it's going to be, man. We always got to have that starter conversation before we get to our topic for the day. But we're asking the question, what is it? Oh, we lost Donald. Hopefully, we're going to get him back in a second. He must have hit the wrong button. But what is it, man, that you should ask? What are some of the questions that you should ask before you start dating someone? What are some of those questions that you should ask or that should be asked before you start dating? What do you say to that, Badger?
Um, One of the questions I ask is, do we have to have sex?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, are you money hungry?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Um, just finding words.
Mm-hmm.
I I got so used to being used by women that I just And then I met my wife 10 years ago, and that was it. Didn't have to ask any questions. We just knew.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um, so just if I could say anything, I would probably say like making sure you find out if they're trying to use you or if they
Mm-hmm.
really want to be with you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's good. That's good. And let me give the phone number. The phone number, I want people to call in and discuss your opinion on this. This is not our topic for the day, but this is our opening topic. And the phone number is 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. We're asking the question is, what are some of the questions that you should ask? What are some of the questions that you should ask before you start dating someone? Before y'all start dating. Now, fellas, I say it all the time, man, because she got that big butt baby hair and a smile, big butt baby hair and a smile, is that enough? Yeah, yes, she looks good. Yes, she looks real nice. But that big butt baby hand and smile could be just as crazy as oh Lord Jesus, and then almost said something. Good God, give us a call 508-924-3521. Now, ladies, because of the fact that he's tall, dark, and handsome. Y'all say y'all like him tall, dark, and handsome sometime. Because he is tall, dark, and handsome. Is that enough? Or tall, light skin. Some of y'all like the light skin brothers. Tall, light skin, and handsome. Is that enough? Leonard, what do you say to that, Leonard? What are some of the questions that you should ask, that should be asked before you start dating? And good morning, Leonard. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem, in the Morning Glow family.
Man, talk to me,
Morning.
brother.
Do you hear me, Raheem?
Yeah, I heard. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay.
What are some of them questions that should be asked? I need to hear this.
What was the first day of your last cycle?
Lord, my Jesus, Lord. Boy, Lord Jesus. The first day of your last cycle. Leonard, you're gonna get cussed out at that table, man.
I don't care. Why would I ever? People, I am concerned with those types of things
Mm-hmm.
because, it's one thing to know,
Uh-huh.
what's bound to happen than to pretend that you don't. I prepare for what's ahead.
No, yeah, no. You preparing for more than just ahead. You know, you ask a question like that.
I
You
prepare
preparing for something
because
else.
one, I need to know, do you have any diseases that I could possibly catch? Do you have any relationships? Do you have kids? What's the deal? How do you know somebody's eligible? And it's so sad that people deceive themselves almost. That's how you wound up. Everybody it's amazing to me how some people act like they don't know how you get pregnant.
There's a certain thing that there's a certain
Come on, man.
steps that have to happen for you to have that child. There's a few steps. But listen, let me ask you this. Something happened with Donald, so hopefully he's gonna come back in with us in just a few minutes. He said he's trying to figure it out. But Leonard, you know what I always say, man. And I'm gonna go to the phone now. We got Curtis on the phone now. I definitely want to hear from him as well. But we're talking about that big butt, baby hair, and a smile. Sometimes that's all that it takes for some people. Ladies, like I said, a lot of times they like tall, dark, and handsome, or tall, light skin.
That's all you want anyway.
I
guess it would be. I don't even have a type. So
go ahead, say it, what type you like, Leonard?
The type that like me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's it.
It's a shame that people set such a trajectory for their lives just for a piece of tail. You don't even consider. See, my mother taught me as a boy, don't allow a woman to ruin your life in 5 minutes.
5 minutes, Lord Jesus.
Now, it is amazing to me that if I could get that information when I'm 12, 13 years old, that you had no idea. I'm sick of people winding up in the same situation that they see everybody else in. And then act like it's somebody else's fault. It's your fault.
Yeah. Made a choice.
Yeah, now you sitting around, who gonna help me raise my kids? Well, it should have been the one that was on top of you. Don't look at me to pay for your mistakes. Now, can I help you with certain things? Sure. But don't look to other people to be responsible for your mistakes. Don't sit around and act like it's a problem because you don't sat up here and done things that now you can't fix by yourself. Even with repentance, you got to admit it first.
Absolutely.
You did it.
But I'm just trying to figure out, man. Sometimes we get lost. We get lost in that sauce, man. That big
because you don't have see that ain't about nothing, because that's every day. That's all day. That's never an issue. That's never a big issue. You gonna get that. But can you deal with it?
Yeah.
You sit there and you make a stupid mistake,
and it happens all the time,
because of 5 to 10 minutes of passion.
Yeah.
How much passion is that? How much passion is that really? Why you don't want to? And then when the baby get here, you wonder why he don't want to be there, because he didn't love you in the first place. He didn't care nothing about you in the first place. Or you get pregnant. But you didn't think about that. And so now you have to deal with the consequences of your actions. And my mother explained it to this: them 5 or 10 minutes turns into 18 years.
Quickly.
So one, I believe in taking good advice.
9 months later, a baby is there, and that did said, "I don't care."
You can lie all the time. I used to tell you, because she used to work with a lot of young girls and in the church and things like that, back when they were teaching women how to be ladies. And so my mother would tell young women who were denying the truth, 9 months to tell it all. You can lie to me all day long. 9 months is going to make you a liar.
The truth's going to come out. Exactly.
Yes.
With 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth, 2 hands and feet, And all that, 9 months later, you're gonna have all that right there at your disposal. Now what you
Exactly.
gonna do with it? Now what you gonna do with it? Let me go to Curtis, and the phone lines are open. Give us a call. We love to have your input. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We love to hear from you. What are some of the questions that you should ask before you start dating someone? What are them pre-questions that before y'all even go on your first date? Before you get all googly eyes and all kind of foolishness going on in your mind about things you're going to do and how they are the one. How do you know they the one? Curtis, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Morning, Raheem. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's going on? Would you tell everybody where you're hailing from?
Charm City.
Good deal. That's Baltimore for the people that don't know. Curtis, what are some of those questions? What are some of them questions that a person should ask before they start dating? Or is big butt, baby hair, and a smile, is that enough?
Man, Raheem, it's too early in the morning. We start trouble, man.
Come on, let's do it.
So, one of the things I used to ask is, like, yo, why you single? Like, is that by choice? Is that by design? Like, why you? Like, why? I want to know what happened. Not because I want to find fault, but I want to know. Okay, what am I dealing with? You know, you still got this nutso that's tracking you. You know, and if so, do I need to be on point? You know, okay, some of these white folks just talk. You know, what's your history? Like, where you come from? Where your kinfolk is? So I remember back years ago, first time I got locked up, first time I got bagged or whatever, and they made me go to this like pre-trial release probation program, right? And me and my counselor, we were sitting down talking, and we got on the topic of girls, and I was, you know, I had job had feelings for this cool new young lady or whatever, and I never forget he asked me, he said, "What's her last name?" And I couldn't tell him. And that man, I'll never forget his name. His name was Larry Cherry. That was his name. And I'll never forget, Mr. Cherry told me, he said, "Son, if you're going to have this man for a young lady, don't you think you at least need to know her last name?"
Exactly.
And I was like, wow, you know, like I never thought about the whole experience on that level of getting to know somebody. You know what I mean? So a lot of my questions, if I was in that position again, a lot of my questions are centered around putting in the work to get to know you. If I can get to know you, then everything else will fill itself in.
Exactly. You know what I mean? That's good. That's good. Let me go to a lollipop. Lollipop, good morning. How you doing this morning?
How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. I need to ask you the question. I need to hear it from you. What are some of those questions you should ask before you start dating someone? Or is tall, dark, and handsome, is that enough?
Tall, dark, and handsome. No, absolutely not. I mean, you got to be equally yoked with a person. And I personally think people don't even try to get to know the person, the real person in the inside. They get to know the outside exterior, what they think is nice, cute, and shiny and stuff like that, which means nothing to nobody, you know. But I was just having a conversation with a friend last night, and I was like, if you're a good looking person, it's nothing to attract the person. That's nothing.
Yeah.
You know, especially as a woman, you can walk from here to the store and you're gonna attract people, you know what I'm saying? But like to actually have somebody to value you, and you know what I'm saying, and people don't give that time enough, first of all. And I feel like a person can't love me without loving what's around me, meaning my brothers, my family, my cousins, my children, my niece, my nephews, you know what I'm saying, where I'm from, what I am, like, you can't love me properly without loving all these things, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, you see these men in relationships or whatever they in, and that they wife hate their mama. Like, to me, that is so crazy. You know what I'm saying? Or a woman is married to a man and the man is fighting her son. Like, where does that make sense at? It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So my mama always used to say, you can't love me and hate my kids, which when you young and you hear certain things, those are just words. But now that I'm grown and I have my own kids, I completely understand. But people don't try to, you know, people like flashy things, whether it's fake or not.
Exactly. Now, do you think some guys get caught up on that with the big butt, baby hair, and a smile? Do they get caught up on that? Do you think guys they lose themselves?
They do.
And
they do, because they like fraudulent, fake stuff, like bad checks. They like people like, we living in a time right now that the BS that's tolerated. That's what people like to see and like to hear and things like that. Real stuff get overlooked. And I always use, like, nothing against no woman, of course, but if you was to take the city girls and put them beside Lauryn Hill, most people would be more infatuated with the city girls because of their look versus a Lauryn Hill. Now, of course, all men go say, oh, I don't want them, I want that. So that's, well, you need to be showing her that when your time, your money, your whatever else you got to offer, that's what you need to do. But most men are, you know what I'm saying, they like that. They like this long hair to the floor and all this big rounding. If it wasn't a thing that men didn't like it, we wouldn't have every other person paying $5,000 to go get their butt done.
Yeah, exactly.
The men didn't like, you know what I'm saying? And they're doing that to please basically men. You know, they can say whatever they want to say about, oh, I'm doing this because this is better for me and this is that. But you being this way right here your whole life. Good butt and all. You know what I'm saying? Like, that still don't make a person love you, because what's going to happen is we're going to have a world full of big butts and no value.
That's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. We get some
I agree with Lollipop.
We get some popping sound from somebody's phone. Want to figure out where it's coming from. We get a little background noise from somebody's phone. We got to figure that out. But everybody mute your line for me. Everybody mute your line for me. So that's coming from somebody's line. Toussaint, what do you say to that, man? Are we, as men, can we really be that shallow, man? Only thing we want to look, big butt, baby hair, and a smile. Oh, that's enough, boy. She cute. Oh, I got to get that one. Oh, Toussaint, are we that way?
Who is we?
Men.
Not me. No, sir. Leonard, you might you limited to answer that question. Badger can answer that question. You can answer that question because these are exceptions to that rule.
Yeah.
Because man, look. Now, and I'm just saying where I am. I done got too old to worry about stuff that I can't do nothing with.
See, for me, if I saw something like that, my immediate brain goes, "Oh, that's a gold digger. I'm out. Peace."
See what I'm talking about? Right. Because, see, now I can't afford to, not that I can't afford, I won't afford unnecessary stuff. Because some of these things are paid for. You understand what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Some of these things
got the receipt.
Yeah, they got exactly. And you see, you got to take it home. And you be like, where your sister at? No, that's me. And so the all of that artificial stuff. Oh man, look, I am trying to really be careful.
See, it's too much on the dress over there.
Yeah. They come with a suitcase. But that's not for clothes. That's for what they have on.
Yeah.
Not the clothes. I'm talking about the butt and the breasts and the hair and the nails. They got a kit that they have to store away before they go to bed.
So you go to bed with one and go to bed with one and wake up with another one.
I'm trying to tell you. And look, let me go a little further. You better watch out.
Adam's apple.
Yes, sir.
So you might it might be a Adam apple there that's hidden,
You better,
and you
look right here. You say, "I love you, man." I love you, man.
Lord Jesus. Hey, let me stop him right there, brother, because he'll take a left turn on us. Let me stop him right there, because look at here. Before you know it, we be going down. You see his tail like going down the street, man. But Leonard, as a whole, and I know there's absolutely some exceptions to the rule. Some men are not shallow. Some men, see past all that stuff. But if big butt baby hair and a smile, if the big butt, if it wasn't that important to men, like Lollipop said, man, would all these women be going out there spending their money going to these other countries and getting all these injections and all that stuff, man, so they can have this big butt? Would they really be doing that if it wasn't that important to us as men?
Yes, they would, because it's important to them to help them feel better about themselves. Some people want that attention. The issue is that they want attention. They want to be seen. And they actually are competing with women.
Wow.
They're competing with other women. Not necessarily for men, because they believe that this somehow makes them better. It's a real psychological problem. There are some women in it for the money. That's what they need to get the job they want. If you want to be a person with your ass out taking pictures all the time, you go get one. If you want to model and things like that, they go do these things. We as men could care less. We were getting you just as much before. For the same, our reasons haven't changed or anything. You just decided to. I'm one of them guys. I'll let you know. I'm pro vagina. I don't even care where it's at. I don't care what the hair look like. Nothing. When you want it, you go get it. Whether it be at the gas station or some club that costs $100 to get in, $100 to drink, and then you got to tip these. And people do that because that's what they enjoy doing. That's their lifestyle. Then you have those people who go, like, say, for instance, I thought it was strange to see men with weave in their hair.
Yeah.
I didn't see that till I came to the A, really. I knew old white dudes was getting it, toupees. I knew they wore fake hair. But look at men now. Men are getting fake hair. They're wearing makeup and everything. Who are they doing it for? They want attention.
They trying to get a man.
Men are just as it's not really a big difference. It's just that perspective. Everybody's trying to get attention. Everybody wants to be the best looking. Everybody wants to be seen.
And Domino's and Tucson know this saying very well. Leonard, I'm sure you do too. I know Lollipop played Domino's, but all money ain't good money, and sometimes all attention ain't good attention. And so, yes, you can go out there and you could get it, you could do all these things, but are you getting the kind of attention that you really want? We got another caller.
They are getting it, and we need to look at it for what it actually is. And you would have to talk to people to know. Ain't nobody getting it talking about I'm gonna get a husband. Ain't nobody getting it talking about because it's gonna make me healthier. No, they want people to look at them and go, "Wow, oh, you so fine."
But see, that lifts a whole nother lid off of this thing, man. Because with that, how much value are you really putting into yourself that you got to go out there and get all these enhancements? Or you're not happy with look here, if God can't make you happy, I can't.
But see, that's from your perspective.
But if God can't make you happy with what He gave you, ain't no in the world. What can I do?
Well, I didn't say it was right or wrong. I didn't say it was right or wrong. But people believe that these are enhancements for them. just like you would fix your car up.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how black men spend so much money on their cars to impress other people.
Mm-hmm.
To get other people to look at it and go, man, that's the
Would
best
you
paint
equate
job
that?
I don't see.
Would you equate that at the same level of a lady getting her hair done, going out there getting them enhanced? Would you equate it on the same scale?
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to talk to the ladies about that. I'm going to talk
It's just vanity.
Mm-hmm. I think it's more than vanity, though, Linda. You know,
Well,
vanity.
no, there is nothing more than vanity.
You go out there and spend $100 on your hair. That's one thing, but you spend $10,000 on a booty. Man,
well, if that's what they cost,
a whole different level. $5,000.
Yeah, the price has dropped considerably now.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's cheaper to get a butt now. It's so cheaper to get a butt now.
No, I mean but it's a decent amount of money where anyone could go get one.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I want to say this. Like if you was to go on those sites and stuff, they even got payment plans for you to get them. They even got recovering houses, because when you get them, you don't just go straight home. You go to recovering houses.
Yes, ma'am.
So much. But I want to elaborate on something that you said. You said that women are competing with other women. So you don't take in accountability that why would a woman want to compete with another woman? You know why? Because men have said that is what's that is nice. That's what this. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a whole, like you said, it is psychological, but it is because you standing here skinny, no this, no that, and you whoop, and then something stand beside you like they straight out the country.
Boom.
You know, like they eat cornbread for breakfast, and everybody looking. In your mind, you're thinking, damn, that's what I need to be looking like. Because I'm gonna tell you, I went to Florida. I go to Florida a lot. Last time I was in Florida, last time I stayed in Daytona. Time before that, I'm talking about like this was like last year. This time I was in Miami on South Beach. When I tell you, butt was like a rubber band in somebody's hair. I mean, it was everywhere. I mean, it was on bodies that they didn't belong on. I'm talking little Korean women, this little.
Yeah.
And they walk by and you look like, what the hell?
And men.
I mean, it was just in it, but it was their norm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like down there, it was the norm. And then sometimes, of course, it was outrageous. It was bigger than your TV and stuff like that. But that's the going price right now. I'm talking about even where I'm from. And I'm from the country. You know, a lot of things that happen in the city, it don't usually happen in the country like that. What makes city folks happy, it don't make country folks happy. You know what I'm saying? You could throw a yard party. The best parties we have ever had is at a yard party off a dirt road in somebody's trailer or something like that. Them the best parties. Ain't nobody fighting, shooting, ain't none of that going on, and it's free. You know? So yeah. But I'm just noticing, like, even now down here, it's a thing. People got them. Like, I know personal people who got them, you know what I'm saying? And to each his own. But it's just, like I said, people have to take accountability because it is because of that. If you look at a rap video in the 90s with TLC, SWV, ain't nobody had no big butt. Them women were just pretty. Monica, they were just pretty. You know what I'm saying? They just had pretty, nice little Vaseline on the lips. It wasn't nothing extra. You know what I'm saying? Hair combed down. And I got reverse. Getting your hair done is not the same. Is putting $10,000 in the car. You have to get your hair done. That's just part of your regular maintenance. That's like a man getting his beard or something taped up. That's just like regular maintenance. Now the car is the equivalence of, because how women catch men with their things that they get adjusted to their bodies, men catch women with things that they get done to their car. It's silly, but it happens.
Wow,
you know,
like a moth.
Man, like, I want to head like on
moth to the flame. Hold on for a second. I think yeah, that's your lollipop that's doing that little popping sound. That's your line. I'm gonna mute you until I come back to you. Let me go to my phone line. Badge, I'm coming to you. I want to catch this person on the phone. They've been holding on for a second. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning, this is Cassandra.
Good morning, Cassandra. How you doing this morning?
Good morning,
Cassandra. I got a question for you, and I need to hear your heart on this thing, man. In dating, guys, we say all the time, big butt, baby hair, and a smile. Ladies, they like some tall, dark, and handsome, or whatever the case. I'm asking this. What are some of the questions that you should ask? What are some of the questions that should be asked before you start dating somebody? Is there any question you should know? Anything you should ask this person before you start dating them?
The biggest thing for me is, are you married? And are you attached to somebody? And that's not being attached to somebody that you're not married to is not a no for me. And I tell people that all the time. There are destined to be together. They just haven't met each other yet. So we're not sitting. I'm sitting around waiting, but most people are not sitting around just waiting for that person. They're dating, right? So what if you meet the person that is supposed to be for you? You understand? You have to find out, okay, is this person attached to somebody? Where do we go from here? But my biggest thing is attachment. I need to know if you're attached to somebody. Just be honest. But men lie about it all the time because I get women calling me every day. He told me he wasn't, and then I thought, okay, well, that's common sense. He wasn't just sitting in a corner waiting for you to come along. So if we can be realistic about that, you can get somewhere and maybe learn each other and see whether it's something that is going to be or not to be. That is the question, as Shakespeare or whoever said that.
Now, my thing is this right here. Now, I got to say that I got to stand up for the bros too. Now, we don't have the monopoly online. Y'all lie about some stuff too. Now, the women, when I say y'all, I'm talking about women.
No. I'm sorry. Yeah, women do. I'm just going from my perspective.
Okay.
I have women that call me much more about cheating. Lying than men calling me saying that women are lying to them. Much more. I mean, it's like a 80-20 split for me.
Wow. Okay.
In my 30 years of counseling, it's like an 80-20 split.
Oh, so them brothers be putting them lies down, huh? 80-20. That's a big. Woo, Lord Jesus. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
I mean, to me, see, terminology to me is quite interesting on some of these conversations because to me, the male side, if that's what they're doing, if that's what they expect or what they're after, in my opinion, they're corrupt. There's something wrong. That's more like sheeple mentality than being open-minded to actually looking for a woman. I've never understood the point of women putting on makeup or doing all these implants and all that nonsense. It always baffled my mind why you'd either want to put man-made stuff on a body that was already perfect or putting makeup on that's usually from like dead insects or dead animals on your body that's already made pretty bloody well. It just it baffles my mind. It's something like hair. My wife's hair is like 3 feet long. She's doing her best to grow it natural. So she's just letting it be natural. But it's also part of the culture that we grew up around. So I don't feel that it's become this thing where when whatever social media says or famous folks do in their like videos or different things like that, because it drives me crazy. Even with a lot of the models and stuff, you hear horror stories about them having to work hard to stay skinny and all this other kind of stuff instead of just being natural. It's insane what it's the way society has become when what's expected of a man to look like, drive, and all that stuff, and what a woman should look like, and so on and so on. What happened to being able to look at people as them being and just being natural human beings and just respecting one another for who they are?
I mean, that would be beautiful if we could get there, but a lot of times so many people are so superficial that they look for these extra things, and putting on all this stuff, they feel as though it make
So
them more attractive, make it more attractive and
so
appealing to the opposite sex,
that sounds like they want to be married to the fakeness of the world and not the real of the world.
mm-hmm. And that could very well be the case. Leonard, what do you say to that?
What do I say to what particularly? The comment that you just made.
No, the part about what he's saying that a person's being want to be married to the fakeness instead of the realness.
I don't look. I'm not that judgmental about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a psychological implication on why it's being done, but it's being done because one, just like everything else, it is very popular. It is a way for people to get a lot of the things that they want. If your goal is to be someone to have people throw money at you because of how you look, that's what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those types of things people do to enhance their lifestyles. Some people create entire characters.
Mm-hmm.
They're creating characters, and they're selling these characters to other people, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So one, I don't, I'm not one big into judging, on whether it's right or wrong, but the reasons for people doing certain things belongs to them.
Mm-hmm.
So where one woman may tell you, I did it because I felt insecure, another woman would tell you, I will get it because they throwing dollars at the club to the woman with the biggest breasts, with the biggest butt. So they want that attention. I remember, this wasn't uncommon. I remember the big leg contest, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was living over there on Memorial Drive.
Oh,
and
Lord.
They used to have these girls come from Florida to win that thing every time. Because that's what they had to offer. Everybody thinks that there's some greater purpose for people getting together. It's not. Sometimes it's just to screw. And when you get tired of screwing that person, you move on to something else. Like men could travel all day. You could be with, like I told a moment, man, that's the most beautiful man. Hold on, here come another. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Well, hold on.
Here come another one. Don't worry. I'll tell you what. I bet you the next one will do. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's how men. I don't care. Like when you have some women who have been made to, for some reason, believe that men don't like big girls. Well, how is they getting pregnant?
Somebody doing it.
That's what I'm saying. You have men that love bigger women, larger women. You have men that like all type of women. There's some men that just want to try it all.
Gumbo.
I don't know men that sit around and you know what, man? I gotta have me one with some eyelashes. Oh, them nails. Her nails got to be. If her nail chipped, I ain't finna do. Man, that don't matter. That matters nothing to most men. If one, you just go and something that, like one, I was very disappointed with that brand of housewife, right? Because it was almost the opposite of anything you would ever want to keep in your home. I wouldn't want that in my house.
Yeah.
I was really, I mean, yeah, you're great to look at for a minute, but then you get to look, that ain't real.
Ain't nothing real about it.
I'm not into fake things. I'm not into the fake hair, the fake nails or whatever. Whatever you do is what you do and what you're trying to present. I base you on what you put in the front window. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you put up there, that's what you're selling. That's what you have to offer. And I don't fault people for it, but do understand it's bait.
Good deal. Lollipop, what's on your heart? Let me unmute you here. Hold on one second there. I got you. What's on your heart, sis?
So, it's something up there. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree with what he's saying, but still, yet stuff like nails and things of that nature, that's just maintenance. I think that's just maintenance. Like, I mean, because me personally, I go get my eyebrows and my nails done every 3 weeks. I go get certain things done every 2 weeks, certain things every 3 weeks. That's just part of my maintenance. I don't care if I'm going, turning around and coming right back home and get in the bed. I'm still going to do those things. That's just part of my maintenance. You know what I'm saying? I'm I'm not robbing the bank to do these things. I'm not going in the hole to do these things. This is nothing. You know what I'm saying? But to each his own, because there is some men that don't matter to them or however it go, and I don't know, but that's what I'm gonna do for myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not asking nobody to do it for me. I'm gonna always have my nails done. I'm always gonna be looking a certain kind of way. That's just that. I don't feel like that part is being fake. I'm talking about because I was born with nails. You know what I'm saying? I just happen to let mine grow longer than most people. So those are mine, but I was not born with no 89 centimeter hips. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna happen.
Hips are nice.
Yes, I'm from the country, honey. When I say hips, I don't mean what's on the side. I'm talking about what's back there.
Yeah, you talking about you talking about the turnaround hips, the turnaround hips. That's what you talking about.
Hips
the turnaround kind.
nice, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like people can say all they want to say, because I got friends in the industry too, and they do things and they done did body enhancements and stuff for themselves. But because I know them and when I look at them, I'm like, she ain't happy. There's no way you can be 1,000% happy when you have to. You almost like a circus freak because everybody just looking at
exactly.
You
That's
know
what it's about.
And they're throwing peanuts, which is dollars.
Yep.
But it's like you got to really think. And then when you see people do those things, the first thing that they like, oh, I'm a bad bee. I'm a this. I do this, honey. Yeah, I ain't worried about this. I ain't worried about that. But in the inside, you really is a hurt little soul because ain't no normal. My thinking, I could be wrong, but no normal person is okay with showing the world they temple like that.
It's
you cannot. I don't care what it is and what it ain't. I don't care if it is this big or this big. It doesn't even matter. You cannot tell me that you okay with doing that and showing the world your whole inside and out and
everything.
And then you got to think. And I look at these people and they saying, oh, they this and they this and they that. So you don't never want to be married because once the whole world has seen you like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, what can you offer somebody else?
Amen.
That's my mindset. Like, what can you offer somebody else? I don't want some everybody done had. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You honey, take that and put that in the trash.
Yeah.
I don't want it. Give it to
At least there's a woman that's honest that way.
Yeah, exactly.
One man's trash is another man's treasure, but baby, I don't want nobody. You understand what I'm saying? Like, nobody's perfect, but when I see these people, I really do. I see a hurt soul behind all of that stuff. The smile, you might have a smile for this little blue app right here, but it's a hurt soul behind it. It is.
Yeah.
Because nobody that really love themselves. Put it like this: stuff that you love, do you share it? When you're a child and you got your favorite toy, your cousins come over there, you don't let them hold your favorite toy. Yo, you go get them this over here. Y'all can play with this. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing about your body. If you really, really love your gift, yourself, you're not gonna give it to any everybody. You want certain people to have that, not everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Hold right there, sister. You put some stuff out there. We got another caller. Before we go to the caller, Cassandra, what's on your heart right now?
Yeah, I've dealt with women for over 30 years and how they feel about themselves in ministry. And I find that a lot of the women in the entertainment industry, especially, who I deal with a lot, they actually do, a lot of them have issues about their own bodies, and that's why they spend $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. I know a couple that spent upwards of $20,000 doing different types of enhancements, breasts, butts, cheeks, all kind of crazy stuff. And it doesn't make sense to me. And when we really talk and they figure out, you know what, that's not really what I needed. I needed to love me. I needed to figure out that I'm okay and I'm enough. So my thing is always finding out. And for the entertainment industry, there are some people that they do it just as a business. It's just business. It has nothing to do with how they feel about themselves. But there are that group of women that they doing it because there's something broken on the inside. So, that's just my perspective as a counselor.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We got another caller, Brother Pete. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, my brother. DKM Radio panel, listening audience. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. We asking the question. We started right here, and what we're talking about is what is some of the questions that you should ask? What are some of the questions that you should ask before you start dating somebody? Is there certain questions that you should ask? Is there some things you should know, or is big butt, baby hair, and a smile, is that enough?
Well, in today's time,
oh
I
Lord,
would help you ask a whole lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how many bodies do you have? You might need to get a disease test, a series of all of them, not to mention COVID. Do you have mental illness that run in your family, dementia, Alzheimer's? Did you grow up with a mother and a father together, you know, in the house? How far did you complete school? What's your criminal background? I think you need to ask a whole lot. I mean, coming out of this trauma right now with this pandemic, a lot of folks are emotionally distraught, disturbed, disrupted, off balance. And so just from that right there, not to mention all the bags that you've been carrying up until this point in your life, whether valid or invalid, self-induced or, you know, actually put upon you. So I would hope that you would be conscious enough to ask a whole bunch of questions. And the big booty and the smile is definitely not enough. You better check what that is. Like you say, surgery. But look here, man. Is the booty and the smile, what that means? That might be a dude.
Wow.
You don't even know what that is. A whole bunch of makeup, hair, weave, eyelashes, fingernails, big body parts overflowing, looking strange.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot. It's a lot tied into this thing. Let me go back to Curtis. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? You talk. What will you next?
I hear what everybody's saying, and everybody doing. This whole craze with augmentations is it's blowing me right now. You know, and baby girl Lollipop, she did on point. A lot of them, from a clinical perspective, a lot of these folks that's getting all this work done, all these augmentations and things of that nature, deep down inside, man, it's a cry out for help. And a lot of them are doing things that they really don't want to do, but they feel like it's the only way they can get the attention that they need. And a part of that is because they don't fully understand what they need.
Yeah.
But to take it a step further, I'm going to go ahead on and say it, man. I have grown very, very tired of seeing these women and these men go and get these augmentations to their face, where it looked like all of them going to the same doctor, and that doctor has a fetish with anime cats.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the augmentations that's being done to people's faces, it looks like they all look the same. Like every single one of them looks the same. So I'm like, well, if your motivation is to look better, why would I want to look just like Raheem? If I'm trying to look better than Raheem, why would I want to look just like Raheem? So I laugh at that sometimes. I'm like, they all look like cats, man. They look like the doctor has a fetish with anime cats. And I'm like, that don't. I don't understand it. Then you got to think about maintenance, because after you get the augmentation, you got to keep that up. That's not something that they're not augmenting something that's going to last forever. No, you got to go in. You got to go back in, get checked every once in a while. You know, okay, if something unfell, then you got to get that corrected. And then lastly, I'll say this. You know, I had a friend of mine, beautiful girl. And
she had breast augmentations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And man, I tell you, as beautiful as this girl was, one time I touched her breast, and bro, it turned me off so bad, man, I almost spit up. When I touched her breast, you know, the natural flow is if you touch breast, if you squeeze them, once you let it loose, the skin pop back to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I touched this girl's breast. And when I pulled my hands off her breast, guess what I could see, Raheem?
Your handprint. Your handprint.
I could see my fingerprint.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not just my hand. I literally, it was like I got my hands in my pockets, but my hands are still on her breast.
Mm-hmm.
My fingers are still on her breast. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, that looks horrible. Who in their right mind would consider this? You know, and people not even thinking about the health issues. You know, I think a lady, about 6 months ago, just got sentenced to prison. I think they gave her like 20 plus years in prison because she was putting antifreeze in people's butt, man.
Yeah, yeah.
What's wrong with y'all, man? Vanity, the Bible speaks about vanity. And I tell you what, man, if you really pay attention, and I heard a few folks talking, I think that was Leonard that said something to the effect of basically these folks are doing what they're doing basically for a reason. Now, if you support the reason, you do. If you don't, you don't. But there's a reason behind it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And one of the only reasons I keep coming up with is these folks are so vain in this population right now. They're so vain that it's like you walking around with a bunch of wicked stepmothers and wicked stepfathers. In the mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
Wow. Wow.
You know, some of what's going on can be just too much, man. Like, get in a clown car somewhere, ride over there.
Exactly.
Get in a clown car for a minute. So
good deal. Good deal. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. We got a couple of callers. We'll go to you in 1 minute. But Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
When was the last time you saw a person other than Cassandra that was totally natural? Natural. I'm talking about just her. You knew it was her.
Yeah.
Not talking about no preservatives or additives. When was the last time? Maybe it's I don't know, man. It's just I mean it. Even in our, you know, we can talk about anything we want to, but when was the last time that you, other than when you got ready to go to bed, when was the last time you walked down the street, go to the mall, go to the store, go to work, go to church, and saw a person that was totally natural? Nobody wants to be natural. And here's the killer about this thing. And I think somebody said it. When and I'm gonna go here because it's just where I am. Okay, so at the very beginning, when God put Adam to sleep and Eve, he made Eve out of the rib from Adam. Adam was like, "Oh my gracious!"
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, that ain't no monkey there.
This dude said there ain't no monkey.
You hear what? So, but the I guess the question would be, are you the real you? And most of the time, you have to, if a person is going to be honest, they're going to say, no, I got to take something off. But here's the killer, and I'm shut up. You're uniquely made. There's nobody that can duplicate the real you. But nobody wants to be who they are. Really. I mean, and so here's the killer. If you get all of this stuff, it's like a tattoo that you get when you're 25. Look at a 65-year-old man with a tattoo that he put on when he was 25. Let me tell you what it do. It look a mess. What goes up got to come down.
Gravity is undefeated too, huh? Gravity will get you.
Definitely.
Toya with a T, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, doing good, Toya. I gotta ask you this question, sis. I gotta ask you this question, and I want to hear your whole heart. What are some of the questions, Toya, that you should ask before you start dating somebody? Because you know they say to y'all ladies like tall, dark, and handsome. They say men like that big butt, baby hair, and a smile. Is that enough, or is there a certain question that you should ask before going in? What do you say?
I mean, it depends. It's up to you. You know, for some people, that is the case. You know, sometimes we don't do fat or we don't do crooked eye, you know, whatever. You can do right to kind of be able to choose whatever it is you want to choose.
Did you say crooked eye? Did you say crooked eye? I just want to.
You know, whatever it is, we all got our things we don't like.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We all got things I don't like, you know. So it depends. For some people, it might be enough. Right? Because they might have everything. And for some, it might not matter how much they have, you know, looks are just not everything for them. You know, they probably can't get better, but they'll go for average. You know, they go for the underdog. I'm a person that go for the underdog. You know, because you know, you look great. I look for great all the way through. You know what I'm saying? So you can look great, but on that inside, you know, you could be, again, you could be broke, you could be a criminal. Hey, drug dealers, I don't do drug dealers. Some people do. You know what I'm saying? You can be ugly drug dealer, you can be whatever. It don't make no difference because certain people think, you know, float people both. You know, but for me, it's not enough. You gotta have better looks.
That's good. That's good. Brother Pete, talk to me, brother. VP coming to you next. What's on your heart?
I have to pull one from my dear brother Leonard. And one concept to each his own, because you know what we prefer would be our own preference. So, in one sense, what people decide to do is what they decide to do. What concern does it really have outside of themselves? As we're speaking our opinions, they have their opinion. Free will is going to come into into action. But you know, it's just the reality of the world, the society that we live in, the value system that's
or lack of.
You know, an illusion is the truth. Falsehood in a lot of cases is what matters. The superficial is real. So I mean, this is what this is just what it is. So I think a lot of that comes into play. You know, this where we are today. You know, a plastic world, a plastic society, an artificial world, a meta world. You know, this is going in directions that we haven't seen or had to deal with before. Some of these things, and this is a reality of it.
Yeah,
that's all. You know, so.
That's good. That's good. VP, what's on your heart, brother? And good morning. How you doing this morning?
Society, artificial world, messed up. World, you know, this
fancy stuff going on over there.
Yeah, because I was trying to get on the actual video, but it's behind with the radio from the phone. So,
okay. Now let me ask you the question, brother. What are some of the questions that should be asked before you go into dating or start dating somebody? Is there any questions that should be asked?
Let me try to use my relationship to see.
Mm-hmm. Don't
Some
get in
of
no
the questions, you know, you want to.
don't get in no trouble now. Don't get in no trouble now.
No,
I know
no.
sister around there somewhere.
Like I think a lot of times men want to know history and your belt notches and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think really that matters as much as how secure are you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
What religion are you a part of? Where did you grow up? Did you come? What are some of the what do you see yourself in 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Have you been to jail before? Is your family members, anybody in your family murderers? Like it besides the superficial pride questions that make your ego feel big, it's way better questions out there that decide besides what's your horoscope. Because I'm a Leo and you a Taurus, so I know you may get high-headed and steamy at times, so I might need to avoid that. That's not real. Everybody has problems. Everybody has scenarios that change daily, but the history of an individual really could tell you about where they're standing in their presence.
Mm-hmm.
If they, if you tell them what if you were to be in a marriage, how would you see daily life?
Mm-hmm.
Does your daily life look like how your dating life look? Because that means you might be lying to yourself. You might be saying, my daily life, I want to be a housewife that doesn't have to cook and clean and just take care of the kids. But your daily life is saying you're out here in the streets trying to get it.
Mm-hmm.
It don't look like you're trying to settle. And what happens is when you get in, and that happened in my relationship, I'm a settler and she's an entrepreneur. And initially she tried to sell she was a settler, and I found out the hard way, this girl out here, she ain't running the streets, but she's a networker.
Mm-hmm.
So my pride was hurt. Those are questions you got to ask, because she's always on the phone. She's always texting. And then if I'm not feeling secure, then that causes a problem. But I had to grow and learn that type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't ask the questions beforehand.
Exactly. That's good. That's good. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, I guess for me, being natural and is probably one of the most beautiful things in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally getting your hair done or nails done and stuff like that. Sure. But this artificial stuff, man, it just sounds crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many times do you sit down before it finally pops, Like, it ain't natural. But I guess in some ways, some people are going to consider me judgmental. But if that's the case, then oh well, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I admire the beauty in all things and all natural things.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of that stuff on the news and on social media and things like that, and I'm like, why? That makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
What you look like before that,
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, men are supposed to be uplifting women to be the best of who they are, inside and out.
Mm-hmm.
Not spend $10,000 or the women doing it themselves, either or, to get all these implants and all this kind of stuff added to their body that they don't need.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
So to me, if the men's mentality was in a better place to uplift the women that we have in this world and fight against the corporate, political, greedy nonsense that's out there in, the media and the I think someone said it was in like some of the rap music videos or hip hop and different videos all across, actually, because I think you can see it in country videos nowadays. It's not only how do we fight that, but if we fight that, are we going to get attacked because women want to do what they want to do?
Mm-hmm.
So how do we go about as men uplifting women, saying that they're beautiful how they are, and then have to deal with the women that are going, well, if I want butt implants, then I'm just going to go get them. So are we going against women's rights, trying to uplift them and tell them that they're perfect by the way they are? Or are we going against them when we're trying to support them?
Mm-hmm. See, that's a real slippery slope right there, brother. That's a real slippery slope. Leonard, what's on your heart? Talk to me.
Well, I think, from the, let me see how you're
A lot of
speaking
comedy in
from
that.
such a male point of view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, I don't feel a responsibility to do this for women. I just don't, because I believe women are equal beings.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe they have just as many desires and to do the things that they want, just like men. So if this is something that a woman wants to do, it's her right to do it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
about her choice. So she can do whatever she would like, independent of me. I'm not concerned about that. For instance, like well, if we did this, no, I do it for the one I have.
Mm-hmm.
I married her. You want to start something? You want to actually take responsibility for, go get married before you start telling women about what they suppose and should do.
Mm-hmm.
That's that they're completely free human beings.
Okay, hold on. I want to make sure I was not misunderstood. I was not saying that we should control women or what they're thinking.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Go
Well, I
ahead,
like
Leonard.
it, and because my comments wasn't in response to what Badger was saying. It's how I feel about women's rights and their ability to do the things that they want to do within their own right. It's
Mm-hmm.
not about men. When you want to talk about why men do things, you talk about men doing things. When you
Mm-hmm.
say, well, if we treated women this way and blah, 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 what does that got to do with it? What is that? Some women just have a desire to do these things, just like you.
Mm-hmm.
So until they want more or less, or whatever they want, then they will make that decision. What I do is let, if, say, for instance, if a woman was trying to get married, for instance, is that your desire to be married? Then behave like that.
Mm-hmm.
If that is your desire, that's what you work towards. If
Collective.
right, you got women that said they
Mm-hmm.
don't want me. They don't, well, you can't make nobody want you. I know you tried, and look what you've done with your life because you based your life on what somebody else wanted.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
See, there
That's
has
good.
to be a development that people are not focusing on when you say, look at how she dressed. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
she don't dress like that every day. Maybe there are
Mm-hmm.
some women that like to pretend. There are some women that like to flirt. Some women love to flirt. They love to be noticed. They love to be complimented and things of that nature. There are men that love the same thing. There are some men that want that same thing from men, which is why we look at them crazy I'm masculine.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm attracted to feminine, you know? So, but I don't hate another man if he for some reason is attracted to another man's masculinity. I don't judge people that way. I just watch you and see what you do. I don't need you to lie to me. I can just watch you. The truth is what you're doing, not what you're talking
Mm-hmm.
about.
Exactly. Exactly. Lollipop, let me ask you this question. And I know you want to talk about the Will and Jada situation. We're gonna touch that as well. But what is more of a compliment to you? And this is a personal answer right here. If a person were to say, come up to you, say a coworker, and they come up to you and say, "Girl, I love that outfit you got on. You really look good today. Yeah, that's real nice. I really like that. Bravo." Or they come to you and say, "Sis, I love the way you handled that situation. Your mind is so amazing. I love your mind and the way you think." Which is more powerful to you?
It's crazy that you said that. I'm hearing the pop when I'm not talking, but when I'm talking, I can't hear. So I don't know if I'm delayed or what. But
No, I actually I mute when you're not talking. I mute you, but turn your volume down just a little bit. Turn your volume down just a little bit. I think that may have something to do with it. Okay.
Is that better?
I think it might be your line, but go ahead. We good. I mute you when you're not talking. I just mute you. That's why you don't hear it.
Okay. So it's crazy that you said that, because the next thing that I was going to say is what I find. Well, when I know that a man really likes me, for instance, like I have a gap in my teeth, right? And when I was younger, I used to want to close that gap. But as I got older, I actually ran into people, and they'll say, like, people who actually know me know that this gap what makes me me. You know what I'm saying? So closing my gap, I won't be the same. You feel me? So when a man says something to me, like, I would put it like this, and I have full lips, but I tell people full lips wasn't always a thing. When I was in like first or second grade, that was a cut down. Like if me and somebody arguing, I say, which your such and such self, that say with your big old lips. You know what I'm saying? That was a cut down. But now having big lips like this is a thing, you know. But I find it more attractive for a guy to tell me I love your gap, because that's one of my imperfections. And I believe in imperfections is what makes you perfect, quote unquote. So somebody says they love my gap, I take that way deeper than somebody saying you got some sexy lips. You know what I'm saying? So I look at things like that, my imperfections, when people gravitate toward my imperfections, and that's perfect for them. Like I can have my hair a million different ways, but like when I have when my hair is not braided, because I have natural hair, so sometimes it just becomes too much, so I get braids. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't have to deal with it. But when my hair is natural, they be like, oh, I like that. I like this. You look nice today. And it's nothing. It's just that they can see more of my face. You know what I'm saying? That's that natural side. So I'm more into, if you gonna say I look good because of what I got on, that's nothing. That's shallow as hell. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I'm not one of those people. I can go to the White House. I can go to the wherever and buy whatever. And I also can go to down here and get this and make it look that way. Because I promote, you know what I'm saying? I promote clubs. So when I'm promoting clubs, I have to be in character, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, most of the time I don't have my hair up. I don't have my glasses on. You know what I'm saying? I have to be in character. But I know, and people who know me know, that's lollipop. That's not charity. You know what I'm saying? It's a different. Charity is who my mama named me. Lollipop is a character. So I know the difference. The people who know me know it's a difference too. But yeah. Like I said, when people look at my imperfections, like I got thick hair, I think it's nappy, but people like that. You feel what I'm saying? So people saying things like that about me means more to me than, like I said, naming some kind of clothes or whatever bag I got in my hand. That ain't nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what you want to say about Will and Jada? Got one right there too. What you want to say about Will and Jada?
You talking to me?
Yes.
What did you say?
You wanted to say something about Will and Jada?
Oh yeah, I was just like, every time I get on Facebook, people talking about how bad Jada did Will, and he's a good man, and she's a heathen, and all this and all that. And like I tell people, y'all forgot, these people were open swingers. They was okay inviting people into their lives. And what y'all got to understand is, 2 is company and 3 is a crowd. If I'm in a relationship with anything and I add another one to it, at some point in time, somebody gonna be excluded. You understand what I'm saying? And them 2 gonna be together, and then these 2 gonna be together, and them 2 gonna be together. So they, you know what I'm saying? People gotta take that into consideration. They're not. They just looking at it and acting like this lady is a heathen. So if she was so much of a heathen, they wouldn't still be together. They still together, and they okay, and they happy with their lives. So y'all need to be okay with their lives too. You know what I'm saying? Like, they forgot, like I said, Will was okay with her doing the things she was doing, and she was okay with him doing what he was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly. We got a couple of people on the phone line. Let me see who we got on the phone lines. Let me see. We got just called in. We got Bishop.
Good morning, my brother. How you doing?
Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Blessed, brother. I'm blessed.
There you go. Leonard, you gonna say it?
Good morning to the good bishop.
Bishop, we asked you a question this morning, and I want to hear your heart on this right here. And be careful, because Sandra listening to you now. What are some of the questions? You know, men, we like the big butt, baby hair, and a smile. Women, they like them tall, dark, and handsome, tall, light, and handsome, whatever it is. But what are some of the questions that should be asked? What should you ask before you start dating somebody? Is there any question that you should ask this person before you start dating them? Got a couple other calls. We'll come to you in a second.
I'm not going to talk long. One of the key things in the time you're trying to establish a relationship with someone, you want to know about them, who they are, you know, where they're from, talk about your family dynamics, so that you can get a good understanding of what you're dealing with. And that's what it was for me. I don't care, but are those your eyelashes? Is that your real hair? No, those superficial. I want to understand the person that I'm dealing with. So I ask the very questions that pertain to them, so that I can get to know them. And that's it. So since you got both folks in, you can move on for me.
Good deal. Rico, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Man, Grand Rising, everybody. Congratulations on seeing a new day.
Yes,
I'm all right, man. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Rico, let me ask you the question, brother. What are some of the questions? Is there any question that should be asked before you start dating this person? Now, you like them. They look good. They're very appealing to your eyes. But is there any other thing that you should know about them before? Big butt, baby hair, and a smile. That might not be enough. What else should you ask them?
Well, to be honest with you, you shouldn't ask no questions. You should get to know them and watch them and let them questions get answered just by their action. You can find out everything you need to know if you're just patient enough and you can take your time instead of being so hungry. See, this society we live in today, we want what we want and we go get it. We so addicted to convenience and wanting that gratitude to be so quick that we'll just go out with the intentions of wanting to date. And when you got that intention, because you're attracted to them, you may overlook some things that you should pay attention to, because you already have your heart and your desire set on being intimate and getting to know this person in an intimate way. But if you just sit back and take the time and don't have that agenda, that romantic agenda, and just get to know somebody, a lot of times they'll expose their true selves just by you been interacting with them. So sometimes, you know what I'm saying, because this is one thing about it, you could go ask all the questions in the world. Don't mean they got to tell you the truth.
Exactly.
So you sit back and you watch by somebody's action. I always say, words ain't number sound that come out your mouth. What you doing? So I'm gonna sit back and watch. You might tell me you virtuous. You know, man, I have met so many women in my 30 years, over 30 years, about her being loose and wild, that can count on one hand how many men I've been with in my life. Then all of a sudden you find out they need everybody's hands and feet, even the dogs in the house. They need their paws and nails too. They got notches worse than the men got.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Oh, that's my friend. That's my play cousin. He's just like my brother.
The truth of the matter.
So you just got to watch how somebody acts. We know what our eyes tell us.
Exactly. That's good. Good, Sandra. What's on your heart?
About what part? We're talking about a lot of different things, but you know, when it comes to the natural, we were talking about the way women look. I don't criticize any woman for the way that she wants to make herself feel good. It's whatever she does, that's fine. I'm not going to spend $20,000. If I had it, I'd probably do a tummy tuck. I'll be totally honest. I got to be honest. I'll probably do a tummy tuck.
Okay.
But I'm not going to criticize a woman for her wanting to do what makes her feel better, as long as she's just doing it not because there's some underlying thing going on with her. And because I know one girl that she got her butt done, then she got her breast done, then she got her teeth done, then she got her. I'm like, what? I mean, she has spent upwards of close to $40,000 just doing things to her body. But guess what? She's miserable. She's mean and nasty. And so what are you doing? I mean, I don't get it. And for me, I love to see women, with their nails done, their eyes, lashes and stuff. I don't do it because I only do it when I have to do it for the movies, y'all. That's it. When a movie tells me they want my nails done or they want, this bang look, I'll do it. Other than that, I'm very simple and very plain, and and that's just me. But I don't beat down another sister for wanting to do more.
Exactly.
That's her thing.
Good deal. Good deal. Monique, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing just fine.
I need to hear your heart, sis.
Huh?
I need to hear your heart this morning. Talk to me.
I just wanted to speak on the subject of when you're meeting somebody, what question you would ask. I think for me, I think somebody mentioned it before, but I'm more of watching and listening, and I think right now what's important to me at the age that I am now that I probably didn't pay attention to when I was younger is how I guess I would say conflict resolution or how a man handles conflict, because I'm noticing here recently, because I'm not a big argumentative person. And I noticed that the energy that the men that I've encountered, they have like a woman energy, because technically, women like to argue, they like to fuzz, and they want to get loud, and I've been noticing that that's what I've been running across with,
Preach.
the men.
Preach.
How?
She is telling
And
you.
it just seems like, because I'm used to, growing up, I'm used to, a man of not many words. and I see that men today have a lot of words. And, it's just a little off, they almost a little scary because they loud and it has an aggressive tone to it. And when it's something small, it's not even anything to get upset about.
Wow.
And it just seems like they go from 0 to 100 really quick. And and I watch that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's very important. And I'm realizing that has helped me, to stay away from those type of guys that, get upset so easily. Because in my mind, I always, believe that, a man thinks, before he responds. Because I always thought that men, supposed to be thinkers. That's what I was always told. And that's not what I'm seeing. It's more of a react, and then after they don't react, then
Okay, hold right there for a second. Okay, hold right there for a second. I'm gonna pull some more people into the conversation. I love what you just said. You ain't got to go to, but hold on, we're gonna come right back to you. But Toya, with the team, what do you say to that? And should you test them in that way, Toya?
You said, should we test them in that way?
No, yeah, Toya. Should you test him to find out how he would deal with how he would resolve certain situations? Should it be a test out there? Every now and then, just test the water, see how he's going to respond. Is he going to be over the top, or is he going to be calm and cool? And baby, hold on, let's talk about this for a second. This is what it is. Hold on now, let's talk for a minute. We don't need to do it that way.
Yeah. Well, for me, again, I'm a test taker. I'm gonna ask you the questions I need to ask you up front. I do a thorough application screening process. Period. I'm gonna ask you questions off the wall. Then I'm gonna give you the worst of me just to see how you react off the jump. When you ask me why you ain't got no man, I tried to kill the last one. What's up?
Lord,
you so I'm gonna get to know that because you need to know me. I'm gonna be 100% honest. So I don't believe in tests. But I do believe in seeing you walk what you talk. And if you don't walk me, I'm gonna get you. If you say that this is kind of man and you're not, I'm gonna get you. I'm not gonna play with you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat you. I'm not gonna act like I didn't see it. You understand what I'm saying? Which is the I don't know. That's the thing that I think we're supposed to do. Oh, hey, you know, this that. No, you said that you like to work. Well, why you ain't been to work? You understand what I'm saying? You said that we ain't had no car. You know, you a hustler. You a this, you a that. Well, why we ain't? You know, understand what I'm saying? So I apply pressure. So I make sure before we even gonna go there, it ain't no testing. You're gonna test out the exam off the rip because I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. And the first time that you're gonna step up to whatever it was that you said, you know what I'm saying? It's not about a test. It's about you being a man of your word. And when you're not, I'm gonna call you on it. And 9 times out of 10, you know, that fake it till you make it ain't gonna work.
That's good. That's good. Tucson, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart? Donna?
And yeah, I'm when I hear these type of conversations, I try not to be offensive or judgmental, because most of society are not themselves. We don't know who each other are. I mean, really, we wear masks to the extreme. The only person that really knows themselves on the outward, you know, shell is that person. Okay. But who's on the inside? Who are we really? Who are we really?
Tucson, let me step in for a second, man. Do you think a part of this issue or part of the situation is people really don't know who they are themselves? And so it's hard to present something that you don't know what you're presenting.
Well, we have so much advertising by people that don't know who they are, that we think that's normal.
Yeah.
I mean, we look at the perception that the thought frame is everybody want this bowed up guy. I used to be bowed up, now I'm bowed over.
Lord Jesus.
For real. And everybody thinks that everybody wants this thick chest, big frame, goony goo goo type of woman. That's not even the type what I really mean. But
your brother said goony goo goo. Lord, my Jesus.
That's what I call them, really, because you know some of that stuff is just. I don't want to be offensive, but it's just nasty. It's just nasty. It really is. And then we see the thing that goes on our internet, and they just shaking it. They shaking it, popping it. And I'm saying to myself, I wouldn't take that home to my mama. Sir, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's on display, nobody takes the display and the mannequin home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When the last time that you went shopping and you say, "Oh, I just love that mannequin. I think I'll take it."
I can't.
That's a freak right there. It's a real freak.
Well, we got the same thing. We got the same thing because some of these girls, men and women, are mannequins. It's not them. I mean, they're in the clothes, but when you really come, man, look, I wish I would. Let me just give me a second, Raheem. Please.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I see people spending thousands and thousands of dollars on their shape, how they, the breasts and the lips and the eyes and the butt and all that kind of stuff. But when they open their mouth, nobody's spending money on communication skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you notice? Have you noticed that most of our people, I don't want to say just young folks, because some of the older coons are doing the same thing. They sound alike.
Yeah.
They sound just alike. They don't even pronounce. They don't even try to pronounce their words. They don't try to make complete sentences. It's just. I'm wondering if you can fill out a decent application. I'm just saying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I don't want to be offensive because I have some communication skills myself, but that's on purpose.
Exactly. That's good. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
You know, I'm thinking about what the sister was saying earlier about the type of men that she would meet. And I'm glad she brought that up because I see that all the time. So I'm gonna probably hit on a couple of things. But there's a process, you know, this thing they call consequence or trickle effect. And that trickle effect is a lack of male examples, positive male examples on a consistent basis. That means somebody's not giving those men quality time when they were young. And so that's one of the things that I brought up. You know, I bring it up. I've been bringing it up. I even gave it a name. I gave those men a name. I call them Jezebels because they have the same values and they look for the same qualities in men that women look for. And some of those qualities are superficial. And the reason why I say that, because I got a lot of younger cousins. I'm not like the oldest male. And over the decades, I hear them talk about their friends or whatever. And I heard one of them say one time that they said that they didn't hang around another man if he couldn't at least count $30,000 on the spot. Now, these little guys supposed to be hustlers, but I'm like, well, wait a minute, what y'all pocket watching a man for?
Yep.
That's something that a woman is supposed to be looking for. So then even before then, I would notice sometimes when I get around certain groups of people that were supposed to be doing good, they were quick to look down at the shoes and start whispering. So I had to tell them, wait a minute, man, that ain't stuff that men do. And so over time, I've been noticing you have to tell more and more people, man, that ain't man like. That ain't what men do. That ain't what men worry about. And I realize most of these times they're either learning from toxic men or they're learning from a lot of women. And the reason why I know this is because I was raised by a lot of women. So I saw a lot of the things that they believe, the way that they think what a man is supposed to be. You'll listen to a woman say, a man's supposed to do this and a man is supposed to do that. And you're like, what? That ain't true. So that lets you know that they didn't have a positive example. Maybe they took what TV told them or what popular trends. See, I think we don't realize a lot of us have let the media turn us into clones.
Yes, sir.
And not only have they turned us into clones, but we are voluntarily doing it. You know, we got this thing called first impression. First impressions transferred into relationships. I want to ask everybody, when you were young, putting in applications for jobs, you had to train to say the right words and to give your best presentation so you can make a great first impression. Which that means you told them everything they needed to hear and let them see everything they needed to see so you can get what you needed to get. So now that's what men and women do. That's why when a man take a woman home after 3 or 4 months or maybe 2 or 3 weeks, if he haven't really paid attention to her, she don't look the same when she take that makeup off. That's why when that man come around and you finally find out where he lives, you start seeing, man, this dude live in a trailer, but he's driving his Mercedes. He live with his mama. That's why he got all his money. He ain't got no other bills. He can afford to pay this car note and wear these nice clothes. And he'll deadbeat dad. But they giving you that first impression because these are the things that people look for and the people that they desire now. They're looking for superficial and material value. They're not looking for what type of person a woman or a man is on the inside, because their agenda is to either get with them romantically or sexually. So they, like I said, you're gonna overlook a lot of flaws and you can start looking for all the other things that you desire, and all of that is less is minus quality, is minus character. So that's the society that we live in now. You know, if society or popular culture, pop trend is telling you that Cardi B, Nicki Minaj is hot, and you know they had a little work done, guess what women gonna start doing? They're gonna get that work done. Just like wives say, well, you know what, the husband like the side chick, so I might as well start acting like the side chick. No, that is not what's going on. So people they're voluntarily cloning themselves, and along with that look, they're taking the attitude. Not realizing in the process of cloning, they're only covering up the real them.
Exactly. We got another call. That's good. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Annette Davis Jackson. Good morning.
Good morning, Annette. How you doing this morning?
Happy holidays to everybody.
Hey, to you as well, sister. You as well. We're asking a question. I want to hear your heart on this right here. A lot of times, speaking to the women, they like a guy tall, dark, and handsome, tall, light skinned, and handsome, whatever the case. But is that enough? And I'm asking this question because guys like big butt, baby hair, and a smile. Is that also enough? Because are there any questions that you should ask before you start dating this person, before you start dating this individual? Are there any questions that you should ask before you start dating? And what do you say to that?
Well, dating is a process. I have never dated, to be honest. So it's a process. But I really don't think that you should get too intrusive, to be honest. I believe that it should work like God works, that it flows, right? And it flows intrinsically, it flows effortlessly, right? Because I don't have to do anything. We can have such a good friendship ahead of time, you know? We don't have to, we can go to the movies, we can go out to dinner, we can stay at the house, but we don't have to play house. And I believe what a lot of couples do is play house ahead of schedule, to be honest, instead of get to have a good friendship. That's what my father always told me. A good marriage, a good partnership will have a good friendship. So sometimes I think we dive in deep because in the deep recesses of our heart that, we desire the flesh, we desire something fleshly. And then when we get surprised by the other, then we kind of get upset. So you know what? The old school used to say, you can't take the cart before the horse.
Yeah.
And a lot of us take the cart before the horse, and guess what? We get disrupted. We get upset because if you're single, right? That doesn't mean that you're exclusive. And even if you're exclusive nowadays, you're still free to do the things that you want to do. So I would say that the questions have to just happen because I don't want anybody questioning me. What is this? Well, what is that? What is that? No. Can we just have a conversation that really flows, right? So that we do get to know each other, in a great, should I say, wholesome way? Because relationships are about having healthy relationships, not dysfunctional relationships.
Absolutely. That's good. That's good. Bishop, what's on your heart, brother? Bishop, you there?
Well, yeah, I'm here. I'm enjoying the conversation. I'm hearing a whole lot of different stuff and interesting comments that are being made. And one thing I don't do, and I don't really look at the exterior of the person's physical attributes. I look at the character of the person wholeheartedly and listen to the conversation. You can't have a decent conversation about life and how you perceive things, then you just let me know straight up that you're not in tune with what's going on in the world today. And that's a very key, important thing to me when it comes down to having friends, both of any sex, whether it be male or female, it doesn't matter. But when it comes down to finding the right person that's going to fit you and it fits your dynamics of life and what you want to do and have in life, that's why it's so important to be able to communicate with an individual. Before I married my wife, I was dating someone else. Our conversation was very elementary. But when I connected with my wife, and her conversation was beyond elementary, she had a vision of what she wanted to do and have in life. That was very important to me because without a vision, I be prepared.
Yes, sir.
And if you're talking to someone that doesn't have a vision, that doesn't have any desire or hope, then you're really wasting your time. I'm not dating a girl because she has, all these physical attributes, big breasts, a nice tail end, a flat belly. So as soon as she gets pregnant with that first baby, everything else goes south. And sometimes you don't even recover. You don't go back to where it was. So that's what I fell in love with. And that love just died right there in the net. So at the end of the day, man, you know, I enjoyed what Rico was saying. I'm listening closely to him, thinking I'm enjoying what everyone was saying. And, you know, I'm almost like my boy. At that point, what do you say, Goonie Google?
Yeah, he said Goonie Google. Yeah, Goonie Google. That two songs, Goonie Google. I don't know where he came from with that one. He went deep in the basket with that one. But let me go back to Cassandra. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra? Okay, we have lost Cassandra for a second. She may have had to step away. Toya with a T, talk to me, sis.
Well, yeah, no, great stuff. So I think Miss Jackson, she hit the nail on the head with a lot of different points, man. And I don't think that we don't understand how influential our positions are as men and women, and when it comes to creating unions. And you're right, we don't take it seriously. That's why I said, you know, one thing I acknowledge that God helped me to reveal, right? Like I don't have to be of the world and sow my royal oats. You know, I'm so mad at myself for falling into that cultural activity that I felt like I deprived myself in a lot of ways, to where now, you know I might be a little older, you know what I'm saying, but it don't make no difference. You can't get none if we not going to do this thing the right way, period, point blank. You understand what I'm saying? Enough of thinking, you know, oh, this is going to be okay. I'm just going to die. I need to know what the package is like, you know, but forget the fact, are they going to be a good father or mother? Forget the fact, are they going to be, you know, willing to indulge in things that have no integrity? You know, forget the things that properly start generational curses. Right? You so busy looking at him or her because they look good, but yet still they are R. Kelly child molester type.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Now you go overlooking things that really matter because you hooked on the money, you hooked on the fame, you hooked on the look. Like, no. That's still not the materialistic qualities that we need to be good and decent human beings. Now don't get me wrong, right? I don't want you to look like the bottom of my shoe.
Come on.
Right? So some people go.
Yeah. Come on.
Okay? But I need to be attracted to you in a way that makes you awesome. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes that comes from within. We so busy looking for approval in someone. I think one of the reasons why I'm most loved is because of the confidence and the love I have for myself. And that's where this thing starts at. You know what I'm saying? Really acknowledging my value. There's nothing you can do to ever make me think that I'm going to be less than what I am. And that means if I'm going to deal with a man or if I'm going to deal with a friend, you're going to have to put in what I'm worth in order to keep and maintain it. No more of this, you know what I'm saying, not knowing our value and not understanding how invaluable relationships are and what my influence is.
That's good. That's good. BP, are you back with us? BP, are you there? Tucson, talk to me, brother.
And this is just what it is. But this is me. I'm talking about I am just as raw as I can be. I gotta have glasses because without them I can't see. But this is the only additives that I have, and it's the best I can do. If you don't like it, that's on you.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I will not spend thousands of dollars on muscle implants to try to be bowed up like somebody else. I wish I would.
Can. You know what I mean? Got all the muscles and can't lift a Pepsi Cola can. Lord Jesus, that ain't.
Remember the guy? You know the guy. There's several of them. I didn't know it was real, but take for instance, and I'm not trying to be down on him. That's him. the guy that wants to look like Popeye.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually put implants in his. So he desired to be a boxer and got knocked, slapped out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying about it is, um, what's wrong? What I'm trying to figure out is what's wrong with the real you. I saw Toya come on one time, and she says, and she did like this. She had her hair, and she said, "Here I am.
Mm-hmm.
This is me."
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was still Toya. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and
Absolutely.
the women are the most beautiful creatures as they are. I saw a guy, and I talked to a guy, and I'm trying to shut up. I talked to a guy, and he says, "Man, you know what? No, I can't say everything. What I will say, he said, I like big women."
Mm-hmm.
And there
Mm-hmm.
are some women that feel insecure because they big. There's a man, if you want a man, for
Yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Yeah.
skinny guys, there's big guys, there's fat guys, there's short guys, there's tall guys, there's all kind of guys.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, you know, if you just be who you are,
Yeah.
you're the best you can be because
Mm-hmm.
God made you.
Exactly. That's
Now
good.
we try to make ourselves and we making a mess. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying. And I am being very kind.
Mm-hmm. Well, I sure appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Glad you're being kind. Captain Leonard, talk to me. Unmute, brother. You muted.
I'm a little bit more extreme than
Oh.
Tucson
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to this issue because a lot of times I just listen. Because one, I'm not the type of person to engage in a lot of uh, relationships, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. Um, a lot of times I'm not interested in certain things where, you keep saying this stuff, what you call it? The
Big
big,
butt, baby, hair and a smile. Come on, man.
okay,
Say
big
it.
butt, baby hair, and a smile. And, the training before all this for me was never allowing a woman to control me like that
Mm-hmm.
because I knew that that was their weapon. So I never wanted to put myself in that type of position. But it's the utility of the matter. What do you want? If you be honest with yourself about what you really want, I don't really think that you're gonna have as many disappointments.
Mm-hmm.
We have certain things that we say, but a lot of this is a bunch of cloak and dagger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're really women want to act like they look. Are you looking for a husband really?
Come on.
I mean, I'm just asking, a question because every woman's not looking for a husband. I don't believe.
Mm-hmm.
Can't possibly be. And I
It's
know every man's not looking for a wife.
yeah. Yeah.
So why do you all pretend that that's what you're doing?
Say it.
That's why things like Tinder, I guess, and
Mm-hmm.
Grinder and things like that are so popular because it's really just raw.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of y'all just nasty.
Say it.
You just nasty.
Mm-hmm.
You just fetish creatures.
Now we getting somewhere.
And so if you quit trying to make something good out of what is not good intentionally, you
Mm-hmm.
won't have a problem.
Yeah.
So it's a shame. I hate for people to act as if they're not whores.
Hey. Mm-hmm.
That's come on.
Now we getting somewhere.
Come on, man.
Look at Tucson in the back
A
there.
lot of cats go out, I'm gonna eat tonight, cuz.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't care what's in there.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you I can find something.
What you say?
I mean, I had a partner. We just so raw with it, man. It just what you trying to do tonight? Care nothing about your mama and them and all. What you trying to do tonight? But you sitting around acting like you trying to get to know somebody. I'm trying to get them draws off.
When I took a left turn,
now these women out here acting like exactly who they are. That's why they got all them enhancements so they could do more of that to the best of their ability. So when I see a person doing that, I say, well, you don't baited the hook for this, but you expect something else.
Or those TikTok videos of why aren't you in uniform?
You know, exactly. Yeah. Lust is what it is. I mean, I learned it at a young age. I don't try to pretend about it. Don't even pretend like you care nothing about me. You know, you got some women so bold right now. You got to remember now, I've been in a relationship 22 years. So I'm looking at these women out here doing this now. I'm like, well, hell, why would you get married? When you got a woman that you got a little thing in your hand and you can just scroll. And she said, you know what? I'm trying to put it all in my mouth tonight. Well, let me go ahead and message that one.
Okay, hold on.
I mean, it's just that. It's just that. It's just that. I mean, look. When a man gets scared of what's going on, it's bad. It's bad.
Raheem, he got a point. Let me tell you something. Because, and I don't mean to cut you off, Leonard, but here's the deal. You popping it right in front of the camera.
Right in front.
So what do you want?
Okay, hold on now. Y'all took a left turn over. Hold on for a minute.
Say, for instance, people used to hate my opinion. Women, you know how women tried to convince us that it was okay to marry strippers and prostitutes.
Put your kids out, Andrew.
Remember they tried to convince us that that's what we wanted?
Yeah.
And really, that's not what you want.
Exactly. Hold on. Let me pull somebody else in the conversation. Monique, what's on your heart, sis?
So,
threw you off guard when I came on you that time,
huh?
Threw you off guard when I came to you that time, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say one thing, but I think I'm gonna change that up. I just kind of want to comment on what the guys were saying a few seconds ago. I'm kind of confused a little bit because I guess me, coming from a woman's perspective, in terms of the women with the enhancement. For me, myself, I don't wear, makeup. I don't wear nails. Natural nappy hair, a big woman. And I get more insults than I get compliments. I get more, you need to do this, you need to do that. Men are visual. So I'm saying that to say I can see why a lot of, women doing enhancements. Because when, you don't know what they experience as children. And then as an adult, they get it, they get more insult then. That can, play havoc on your self-esteem. And, I was even told, I've gotten messages from men where they sending me what type of clothes I need to wear, and I'm thinking, I'm listening to these men talk about, women, doing this, but a lot of the stuff that they're probably doing probably have stemmed from, men, so for them, they think that, okay, in order for me to get this positive, attention, maybe I might need to do a little extra because I noticed for myself what I do, put all, on the fanfare, I get nothing but looks. But when I'm not in that, I get frowned like, ew, But
So I can kind of see why a lot of women are doing that, because when I see it, I look at it as, okay, they suffering, look at little Chuck, so, it's throwing me, when I'm hearing the men saying that the women, trying to convince the men to marry, strippers.
Wow.
Where, there was always a, saying, you can't change a hoe into a housewife. I mean, that has always been there. To me, it just seemed like it's men that created a lot of this.
Exactly.
Not necessarily. That's how I'm seeing it.
Okay, hold on for a second. We're good. I got a few more people I want to call on it. I see you, Don. I'm gonna come to you. Badger, I'm gonna come to you as well. But I wanted to go to who is that? I had somebody else on my heart. I wanted to go to next. Annette, what's on your heart? Annette, you there? Annette may have stepped away from her phone for a second, so we'll come back to her. Badger, I think you had something.
Yeah, this is sort of like the topic of some of what I was saying earlier. You know, there's a lot of men out there that are all about that artificial and you should look a certain way and things like that. And then there are men out there that don't really have any interest in that stuff. So I acknowledge that there are women out there that have had to deal with it and are making the choices based on things like that. A lot of that stuff's psychological. And that's why I made the comment earlier, at least from my perspective, being a man, I'm making sure I'm raising my kids not to ever judge a woman like that. So it's, I do lean more towards blaming men for the way women are acting.
I think everybody has a role in it. I think everybody has a role in it, but I understand what you're saying, though.
Well, I mean, it depends on how far back you go. At one point, women weren't allowed to run the house. They had to only wear certain things. That was all they were allowed to do. And if they were in certain situations and things like that, they'd be considered a prostitute or something. At one point in some places, it was illegal to even have a whorehouse. So, yeah. What? So I mean, I know a lot of people have at least heard of the movie of that Little House in Texas.
Yes.
So are there women out there that like all that stuff? Sure. Are there women out there doing it because of how they've been treated by men? Absolutely. But there are a lot of men that think that, they've got to figure out how to change their size because, all we hear is women talking about size and all these other kinds of things. Or you have to drive these fancy vehicles or have this big fancy 20-bedroom house. It's on both sides.
Wow. It's a lot going on. Tucson, you had your hand up. I'm coming to you. And Rico, coming to you next, brother.
Thank you, Raheem. I am going to try to be as look now. I heard my sister just now. I don't know who. I forgot who it was. What her name was. Evidently, and she's not a thin.
Yeah, that was Monique.
Okay. I remember the day when the elder women would tell the younger women, dress up what you got. That's good enough. And if they don't like that, tell them go look somewhere else. See, because everybody's unique in their own way. And there is somebody that likes each one of us for who you really are. The worst thing is that you get the right person, take them home with a falsehood, and they get disappointed because they know what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times what we see in society is a bunch of hope and dreams that are not real.
Mm.
I'm talking about I'm talking about the stuff, and I'm sorry, Raheem, I said a derogatory comment.
Mm-hmm.
But we live in a derogatory society that don't care.
Yeah.
They just want to flaunt it, and they think that that's appealing to everybody. And
Mm-hmm.
people that coming along the way, they say, "Oh, that's what men want. That's what men want." And the some of the men that work every day, that
Mm-hmm.
want something out of life, that are looking for wives, are like, where are the natural women that I can
Mm-hmm.
take home and introduce to my family and raise one?
Mm-hmm. Wow,
You,
that's good.
you may not be Coke bottle shaped, but you
Mm-hmm.
can cook.
Mm-hmm.
I like to eat. I would show you an area that has grown over the years that can prove that.
Mm-hmm.
You hear what I'm saying?
I heard you. I heard you.
I'm trying to tell you.
That muffin.
I'm trying to tell you, boy, man, tying your shoes kind of hard.
Yes, sir. Ain't seen your feet in years. Let me go to
I'm
Rico. Go ahead, Tucson. Finish your thought, brother.
No, I'm just saying, where is the desire to have somebody that you can build a family with, that you
Mm-hmm.
can have a home, not just a roof over your head, with
Mm.
somebody that the world likes, and you get them home, and y'all can't stand each other,
Exactly. Exactly.
or when parts of your body break down.
or they
Mm-hmm.
will break down. I'm telling
Absolutely.
you, man.
Hold on, gentlemen. Let me keep this thing going. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
I think people took the notion of fake it till you make it and didn't know when to turn it off
Yes,
or
sir.
when to apply it.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it exists in every aspect of our livelihood, every aspect of our existence. People are faking it till they make it.
Mm-hmm.
And the killing part is they're blinding themselves to reality
Mm-hmm.
because you could do things so quick and artificially now that you don't have to put in the work to do it. And they satisfied with that.
Mm-hmm.
Not realizing, you can look at somebody going to spend that money getting everything shaped up and it look good for a second. But then the true person is looking at that goes and says, well, look at your calves and ankles.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't BBL that. So that lets me know then that you still didn't put in the work to get that shape. You was
Mm-hmm.
doing something to lose that shape, and you're
Mm-hmm.
going to keep doing what you was doing to lose it because you took the shortcut.
Yep. Yep.
And then, Toya said something earlier. That's how the immediate gratification has society today. We're not patient. We want everything quick, fast, in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
So I said that a little earlier about the convenience of things. Even with internet, that's just the nature of the beast right now. We need everything fast. We want it now. We want gratification, even if it's sexual.
Mm-hmm.
That's why porn is so on the rise now. That's
Yep.
why marriages can't survive, because porn is messing up some marriages.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so many different things that you have access to that you don't have to work or strive to get. So now we have to talk about influence. I was glad Toya brought that up earlier about influence. See, we're being marketed to
Mm-hmm.
everything, and they're using propaganda. And the thing is, this is psychological. The powers that be know how important influence is in image.
Mm-hmm.
So they use celebrities or people in higher standing to influence you to maybe believe that some things are right, some things are wrong. You should vote a certain way, or maybe you should stand on behalf of this cause or whatever. And people are jumping line, and they idolize these people so much that sometimes they let these people influence or change what they originally felt.
Mm-hmm.
So now, with you being able to influence this person to believe that this is what they should think, or this is the way they should vote, or this is the way they should travel, or whatever, this is what they should savor, after a while, they're gonna tell you that this is the way you should look.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way you should act. You listen to that woman say she don't cook or clean. She just pop that thing.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
She don't cook or clean.
Mm-hmm.
And some men are looking at that, because they might hear a woman say that, they might hear a woman rap that, knowing good and well they want something to eat 10 years down the road.
Yeah. Eventually they're gonna get
But they
hungry.
bought into that song because she looked like Cardi B, or because she looked like Nicki Minaj. Forget how rude she is. Forget that she was rude to Mariah Carey or whoever, that she just nasty and mean, and that she tell people to suck her penis even though she ain't got one. All that misinformation and disinformation that we overlook. See, that's what the thing is. People overlook the flaws and the negative things because they favor and desire the other things, the qualities of these people. They'll overlook the character. They'll overlook the fact that they're spreading misinformation or just speaking no logic at all. I mean, what sense? I've been hearing women say that in rap songs so much, and I'm like, wait a minute, you can't tell people to do that. You ain't got one.
Yeah, exactly.
It don't make sense. So you listen to all this, and these people still have a platform to influence. And in the process of them influencing people, people want to be just like them. So they're mimicking, going back to cloning, mimicking these people that they feel like are telling us that this is the way things are supposed to be. So we get caught up getting caught up in somebody else's illusion and somebody else's belief system, all because we have ulterior motives to attain the things that they have, the material and superficial things that they have, the money, the clothes, the fame, the notoriety. Throw class out the window, throw integrity out the window. Oh yeah, you got 6 kids and all of them got baby daddies. What I look like having being tied down to one man. I meant to have children by different dudes. Wait a minute, so you physically trying to make somebody think that's acceptable?
Exactly.
Well, if you're on TV enough saying that, you're gonna create enough whores out here in the street that's gonna say the same thing. When they really and truly was just out here busting it open and when caring if a baby was being made or not.
Then have a care in the world. Absolutely. Absolutely. Toy, you talk to me, sis. VP coming to you next. Toya, you there? All right. VP, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, so I think for a good bit of this topic is really been hit on. I think Rico was really starting to hit on where I was going with it. When I heard Tucson first start speaking and then Leonard started going real, I think what we're forgetting is that a lot of this attention to big butt and the smile with the curly hair or the muscles and all that it's a pride of life thing. It's the end all of what it is when you just want to be a part of the world. And Badger's right a lot when he says that if men change, but it's hard to categorize or put people in one position and think that's what it is. I think a lot of times what's happening is we're forgetting that the entertainment industry is what's running this place. And although like homosexuality was big in the 80s, 70s, 80s, they had that push in Hollywood. It was a quieted down. And when they quieted down, they got smart. And they knew, well, we can't take the power from people, so we'll become the power. And they became the entertainment industry. And slowly but surely, we started getting these images showing men dressed as women all the time. With Rana Man and all that type of stuff that happened back in the 90s. And then we started seeing G.I. Jane and how women were supposed to be tougher and they could start doing things on their own. And then the music started changing and women became more powerful and they became sex images and of how you think power looks. That's what people started chasing. And so men started chasing that too. That's why I don't think it was Cassandra, but another woman, a young lady, she had said that she finds that men cry like they argue like women nowadays.
Yeah.
But I think also, like Rico brought up, a lot of men grew up with women. So they don't take that from women because they know your game. It ain't like it was a man there that sat there and took you away from the woman's perspective. When you get raised by women, you get women's perspective. So it's a lot of things you don't deal with, but then women don't want that. And that's all this comes from, is you need a helpmate on both ends. Not make it sound misogynistic or feministic, because both of them are divided. They're both, in a way, making you forget that who you are as your own individual, you still have that same power behind you. And I think I don't know everybody's name, because there's some new people, probably older y'all, but new to me. When she said she's kind of bigger and she let her hair down and she doesn't get the same fanfare.
Yeah, Monique.
But that's great. Monique.
Yes.
Because that means Monique, there's somebody out there for Monique who don't care what she look like.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's called fanfare. It goes with the wind. It wasn't made for it to be stuck around. And if it's the right fan, it's gonna blow you, and you're on fire, it's gonna blow you up. It's gonna heat you up more. It's all about perspective.
Exactly.
And like Leonard was saying, we give away perspective like it's free candy. We got women out here that think that other women are better than men. That's a perspective. They've been taught that. Men think that other men are better than them. There's no having a woman. But scientifically, neither one of them can produce anything in this world with life.
Exactly. It's
a selfish thing.
Let me go to Annette, what's on your heart, sis?
Man, you know what? I say that all these perspectives, we need to transcribe them and put them in a book, obviously, because I do believe that everybody has a great perspective worthy of adaptation and worthy of people really looking at their internal heart. The bottom line is the reason that we're sometimes failing in all of this for the lack of the word of God, I hate to say. It is so amazing when you go to God and you go to the throne, right? You see beauty. You see beauty because you're going to the throne of grace and you're depending upon his source, right? Because I like what I like. Fellas, I'm 5'9". Yes, I do want a taller man. I'm sorry. I can like what I like. But at the same time, I also I've been married once, and I wait for God to give me that godly man. So I'm not groping for anything. So I think when men and women don't grope for anything, but they let God do the work within them, because there's development. God may want you to start a business. God may want you as a woman, as me, an elder woman, to teach the younger women. And that I do because I have a daughter, 22, and I've got a son who's 20. So I can say that me being divorced at a young age when the kids were young, that I had to raise them kids. But I'll tell you, my son is strong as all get out. How did they do it? It was because I grew up with my grandmother who had 9 children. So what I will say, I don't want Black America, white America, Mexican and me to make any more excuses for what family should be like. Govern yourself accordingly. As a man will not have the tendencies of a woman. Okay? Because I saw it in my father. Right? And I saw that when he said something, but he walked so strong. It's time out for, men to be like the women. No, there's a role for men and there's a role for women. Just like I like washing dishes. I don't like putting dishes in the dishwasher. When I finish cooking, I want the whole kitchen clean. Should I get mad and say, honey, you need to help me in the kitchen? No, baby, I'm going to have all this kitchen clean and I'm going to be ready to make breakfast in the morning. So you have to have a mindset of what to do. Same way, brother, what I want you to do, man, while I got this covered, hey, can you provide? So I can go on to kick tail, so I'll have all the money for vacation and everything that we need to do, and our business is thriving. I believe it's to sit down at the table, talk, okay, to really find out, what do you want? What do I want? So that there'll be room for improvement, and there will be room for growth.
Absolutely.
In Jesus' name.
Come on now. Come on. Cassandra, talk to me, sis. What's on your heart?
Amen.
Amen.
What are you talking about now? I just came back.
Same thing. Same thing. What are some of the things that should happen in a relationship? Responsibilities. We covered. We're actually covering all parts of relationship right now. Responsibilities. Who has this? Who should do that? How should you look? Cassandra, let me change gears just a little bit on you. If you look, if a person looked a certain way, say if a guy he was muscle bound and even big muscle burly guy, and the girl loved that look on him, and then they got married, and then 5 years into the marriage, he done totally fell off. Can't even see his shoes no more when he stand up. All the muscles are gone. Do he have responsibility to keep up his look because that's what attracted her, or should he have the freedom if he want to lose himself a little bit, let him lose himself? I'm still the same person. I just got a few more extra pounds on me now, but I'm the same person. What do you say to that? And vice versa.
Yeah, well, I'm not, I'm definitely not a person that do the look thing. I've always been a person of content. I've attracted, even though I'm not, I'm not one of the pretty girl group, but I've always attracted very attractive men for some reason. But I don't believe that because my ex was like drop dead gorgeous. I mean, built to the 10th power, all that good stuff. But I saw beyond that. And obviously, I was not, the type of woman that he was used to dating because I saw them girls. Them girls look like doggone models, 5'7", 5'8", and built. And I had none of that. But there was something that is within you that we should be looking at, which is the spiritual aspect of each other. That's for me. That's just me. I always felt like people were drawn to me because of my spirit and not because of my physical look. That's what I felt. And I feel like that's where people should be. If you go in just for the looks, that wears off after a while. Believe me. I've been married to 2 drop dead gorgeous men. And it wears off. You don't even see that after a while. All you see is the person, me. Yeah. So, I may have a different take on it, but I don't care about that kind of stuff. And you should take care of yourself. I'm not saying let yourself go. Yeah. You should try to maintain yourself, but that not be the main factors in your relationship.
Exactly. Now, Tucson, you spoke on this earlier about how, you got, the midsection ain't like it used to be. Now, if you were married and all that stuff, and she was attracted to that, and that's one of the things that attracted her to you, should you keep that up?
Yeah, well, let me just say this: I can always go to the gym. I can always walk.
He ready to go somewhere, Leonard. He going somewhere, Leonard.
I can do that. That's one thing that I can do. I'm not gonna do it, but I can. You heard what I said? I'm not going to do it. And I say I'm not going to do it, but if my health would tell me to do it, I can go back to the gym.
Yeah.
But to get it artificially, like Leonard said, my knees won't match. My
Okay, hold on.
Let me finish.
Lord Jesus. What the world we got going on here? Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. If I start all of a sudden my chest is bowed back up. I say back up. I said back up. I'm talking about 30 years back.
Yeah, way on back.
Way on back. And somebody said, well, your arms don't match your chest, man. Come on now. And look at them knees with them big thighs. And your ankles look a mess.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Leonard, I'm coming to you, brother. We gonna hit that mute button on do song because ain't no Lord G. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
That's too funny.
He can't even hold it himself. Look at it. He can't even hold it himself.
Just listen, man. Good morning, and Nat.
I would love Tucson just the way he is, Leonard.
Don't tell him that.
Yeah.
Good
tell him
morning.
And I do the same way with Cassandra. I love Cassandra.
Exactly. But you know, it stems from this, I think. I've never, you know, when you're, especially if you're raising children or whatever, I was never taught that I was a part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So one, me seeing people do things, mean, yeah, that's what I expect them to do. That's what I was taught. And I'm watching it right now. People who were not raised right behaving a certain way that's getting them a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I love what Annette said and how she said it, of course, because Annette can just sing you, you know, when she speaks. But she's exactly right. She wanted to be a good wife. So that's what she went after. She enjoyed those things that a wife would do. Now, a wife is more than just a title, it's a responsibility. So when
Mm-hmm.
somebody say they looking for a wife, why would you go to a strip club?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you know if you're looking for a wife? I'm pretty sure there's a girl out there selling tail on the corner. If you rolled up on her and promised to give her what you want, she'll marry you. But is that what?
Okay.
But if that's what you, but do you think that's that's a wife? And now you get offended and you want to have slut shaming. Sluts should be shamed. You can't glamorize wrongdoing and expect right from it. This is why it's so important to have a value system of some sort. Because the salvation comes from delivering you from yourself and what you would do without a good God's advice.
Mm-hmm.
So, one, we were taught this, that you are in the world, but not of the world. My mother used to say, just because a woman give you something between her legs, don't mean she care nothing about you.
Yeah.
Women gonna like you because you're raised to be a husband.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you are like me because I provide for you and I know my place. But one, you got a woman, she'll think that's what she wanted, and then she'll start acting. You're not fit to be in my house.
Mm-hmm.
You're not fit to be my queen. And now you've raised a generation that ain't fit to be husbands or wives. They can't be. That's why they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you say you're really just cohabitating to the point to something new come along, I tell a woman, don't allow a man to string you on. A real man knows his purpose and he's about that business.
Exactly.
If he
Exactly.
wants you, he gonna come to you with the deal. Here's the plan. Let's do this. A real man that doesn't do anything is just waiting until the next best opportunity comes along.
Say it.
So there's a behavior. If you want to be someone's wife, behave that way.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, I understand. Like me and my wife, I can tell a woman that ain't got nobody at the house in a heartbeat because I can tell the way she looks. Because my wife can't come out the house looking a certain way. I'm gonna check her immediately.
Mm-hmm.
No, ma'am. But see, I didn't marry a woman that would do those things because I didn't want that type of woman in my house.
Yeah. Exactly.
So so we have to be careful when we get to putting our judgment and value systems on other people. I can't judge these people for behaving this way by my rules and standards.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get some people calling themselves the party of family value.
Exactly. Exactly. Let me touch about two more people before I get out of here. Toy, you want to take you back with us? Toy, you want to take you back with us? Okay. I think we might have lost Toya. Let's go back to Monique. Monique, what's on your heart?
I just have a question. I noticed I noticed that like when I was in, going to, the church singles ministry, I noticed that it will always be a bunch of women in there and maybe one or two men. And they will always tell us, this is how you date, this is what you need to do. And I remember somebody standing up asking, well, what are you telling the men? Because you're telling us women don't do this, you should be able to do this. But when we look around, there's nothing but women in here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how can you apply something when the person you apply it to don't have the same concept as you do?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I'm listening, you know, to, what he just said, you know, it's still, bringing the confusion for me. So that's my question. What are they telling the men on how they supposed to date? You're telling the women not to do this, and you should do this, and you should do that. But what are they telling the men?
A lot of
Because
times. A lot of times.
let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me finish this right here. And so when that person stood up and said, "Well, what are you telling the men?" A guy, one of the guys that was there, he said, "Don't worry about what they telling the men. You need to be doing what you're supposed to be doing." And I thought that was, and I'm kind of hearing that same mindset here. And my thing is, I always, for what I've seen, the people who are making it to the altar are not the people who really are, trying to do the, right thing.
Okay.
It's the people that, like I guess they mentioned the Nicki Minaj and the.
Hold on, Monique. Let me get some response to you. Hold on, let's get some response to what you said, because we only got a few more minutes before we get actually at the close right now. But I want to get some more response. Cassandra, what do you say to that? Because I don't know if they actually telling them anything at all. But I don't agree with, well, everybody got to take their own responsibility, but at the same time, it should be collective. So what do you say to that, Cassandra?
Yeah, I totally agree with her, because I used to do, singles ministries at churches, and I was like, well, the men don't care about, because there's such an abundance of women out there giving them what they want. Why would they come in a class and sit women who, first of all, most of us have said we're on a vow of celibacy because we want to live for God and do it the way God says. But that's not what a lot of these men want. They want women that's going to put out when they say, how they say, and when they say, and it's just a double standard to me.
Yeah.
They want these, women that are holy and, well, when I say holy, that's living a virtuous life, but then you don't want to be virtuous. I don't get it. I don't get it. It goes both ways. So, over 30 years in ministry, and I've seen it over and over again, is a double standard. Men that say that they are Christians can do it all day long, all night long, and still get, the girls they want. But if a woman is doing what they're doing, it's a whore. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Can I come behind that?
And there is a
Can I come behind that? Because I was thinking about what they were saying before they even came up with that. But the thing is the ball stops with the woman, or the book stops with y'all. Just like with the story of Samson and Delilah. Samson was weak. He fell to lust. That's how strong temptation is. And really and truly, women don't understand just how strong temptation is. I spoke last week about going to a strip club for the first time, already being a whore myself. But I still wouldn't.
Hold on.
Not realizing just how wide open it was at a strip club and being shocked. I was like, man, I was uncomfortable at first. And the thing is once you indulge, that's where the problem comes in this. And now this is what I think. I think sometimes women don't hear when the men are being chastised, or being told, being told. Because Leonard did tell. He said, if you looking for a wife, why you going to a strip club? He addressed the men then, but see, sometimes women don't hear that, because, and that's the way human beings are. They're gonna still feel it a little bit more when it's addressed to them.
Yeah.
But women do have to understand that the book stops. So y'all just think about the Samson and Delilah story. It goes way back there. But see, when
what's her name? Anjanette. What's her name? I can't remember what her name is. The one that ran for the public office, that ran for
Annette.
When she was speaking. Annette. Man, when she was speaking, I love what she said. I love what she said. And you know what'll happen if a man said those same things? He's being controlled.
Exactly.
I love what she said. But you know what I've heard? If I've heard one woman say that, I've heard 20 women say, that's the old woman. Them women back then were stupid. They put up with all this and all that. Is always where the men was doing this. Is always where two wrongs don't make it right, but it make it even. Is always, if we can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
Now realizing that if there's a man that's living of ill character and doesn't have an upstanding way about himself, y'all can easily say, well, I don't like these men. Somebody made it cool to date the dope boy. Somebody made it cool to date the pimp. Because he had the money, he had material things. See, we have bought up. We have bought into living in this world and indulging into the world of manly desires. Mankind desires material and superficial things, and we're trying to adjust and adapt, having quality families around it, and it ain't gonna mix together.
No.
Listen, not when you're looking for certain qualities in a man, because everything is about image. Like I said, with an interview, you are taught and trained to tell them people what you need to tell them to get the job, and now we do it with each other.
Exactly.
Even when it comes to having sex. So when you, like I said, now here it is, we are indulging in behavior and not living in a way that's really conducive to community. If we actually met people that we really had things in common with that was going to help with our survival, instead of what we can gain from them, that would make things more comfortable as far as the cars and the club. I mean, but just look at them for associating with them. I mean, like, okay, y'all was talking about dating early. The questions that you asked. Talk about some social issues. We both know we're attracted to each other. But how do you feel about Donald Trump?
Good
see what they really. How do you feel about foster children? Talk about some social issues. Have some real deep conversation where you can see what this person's character really is and how they feel about things in life.
Exactly.
But don't let how good they look and how much money they have
influence you.
Yep. Exactly. Change your point of view to theirs, or say, well, you know what? I can get where you coming from, because you know we bad about saying we understand where somebody coming from when we just want to still make sure we stay affiliated with them.
Exactly. Hey, Leonard, read this here. This is a comment. This is a comment from the
it all started here. Eve took the forbidden fruit first, but Adam was there. He just stood there and let it happen. He wasn't strong in faith when he most needed to be. If he had been strong in faith, Eve would have avoided the forbidden fruit. We cannot avoid temptation without God. It starts with strong, faithful, godly men. God bless everyone in here in Jesus' name.
Do you agree with that, Leonard?
You know what? I gotta comment to that.
Well, you know, actually,
hold on. I'll come to you. I'll let you. We're going to get out of here, but I'm definitely going to come to you and let you comment.
Well, you know, I've said before, personally, for me, the Adam and Eve story just is not enough for me. But you know, if some people want to stake their value on that, then you know that's what I mean. I understand. I understand. However, that comes with a lot with it, and that can be for another show, because you assume that somehow Adam had some type of extraordinary control over Eve.
Wow.
We wouldn't have to be cursed if Adam didn't do what he did.
Okay.
Regardless of what Eve had done.
Everybody, give me a quick version. We got to get out of here. We already at 8 after, but I stubbed my crypto. That's the person. I guess I read that right. And that you wanted to say something, sister. What's on your heart?
Yeah, I want to say about that. No, I don't really believe that. Let me tell you, Adam had to name all the birds of the fields and the fowls of the air. He had to till the land. He had to do everything. Guess what? When you're beguiled right? There's something. When you're deceived, it's something that goes down. It's deeper than we think it is. Deception is big. So what did the snake do? Man, he came to Eve every day to convince her, hey, you your own power. He convinced her because guess what? Sometimes the snake was her friend, right? Because her husband named all the fowls, everything, right? So if somebody tells you something along the way or whatever, or girlfriends or guy friends, after a while, you will start wanting to explore. If you let them in your ear, I bind that spirit of the devil, and I say, stop letting people in your ear, okay, to promote some stuff that God has not created.
Thank you. Wow. We got to get out of here, but Tucson, I got to come to you, brother. What's on your heart concerning what Leonard read? Give me your quick version.
We're being beguiled now. That's why we're in the mess we're in.
Wow. Anybody else want to? Cassandra, you want to say something to that?
Well, of course I do.
That's true.
Cassandra?
Yeah, I'm here. It's usually always the woman's fault. So I'll leave that there. It's all good.
Wow. Badger, give me your quick version, brother. What's on your heart? We might follow up on this part tomorrow too, because there might be something we need to talk about. But Badger, what's on your heart?
I want to be able to go back in time, not to go to that personal experience of when it happened, but to know the language and what those words meant before they started translating it, purely out of curiosity, if it was altered or if it was really true.
That's good.
Those definitions change over time, and I don't know how many times in the church I've seen them blame women and degrade women based on that topic.
Good deal. Good deal. Okay, Rico, you want to say something to that? Give me your quick
I just
version.
think, man, that I think that we really have to understand that I believe most women know that if it ain't nothing you could break a down man with, you could break them down with the offer of some sex. And I think we men admit that might be our hardest temptation to fight.
Yeah.
And it goes back. I said it sounds like Delilah, and then somebody came in and brought it back to Adam and Eve. Prime example, and then Miss Annette knocked it out the park again. Who did the snake get to?
Yeah.
And how weak was Adam? If man has been weak from the very beginning to what a woman's influence was. We speak on the power of influence. Then the devil told a woman, go on and go to that strip club. The men will come. He gonna bite that out.
Exactly.
And we have to fight it, but we are weak. We are weak. We are human beings. We aren't gods. We are weak. We are subject to influence and human desires, mainly sex.
Absolutely. BP?
Intimacy.
Exactly. BP, you want to say something to that before we get out of here? Quick version, brother.
Real quick version. There's a story in David's life that I think gets ignored a lot. I can't remember the woman's name, but he came across an individual who wouldn't give up his sheep and help with the land during one of David's crusades, and he was going to murder that man. He was going to do everything he had to get rid of him. It took a woman to convince David that he'll change her husband's mind. So don't forget, even though women take the blame for a lot of things, women have a really good cause on this earth. So let's not just bash them and make it seem like it's their fault. They also help us succeed and grow.
Exactly. Good deal. Monique, finishing out with you, sis. Anything you want to say to that?
No, just happy holidays.
Good deal. Good deal. Rico, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, sir? Oh, you want to say something, Donald? Okay. What's going on at 3 o'clock today, sir?
Well, if you missed the complete broadcast and would like to see the replay in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. BP.
Yes, sir.
Can I get you to pray us out, sir?
Roger that. Oh, God. Thank you again for your omnipotent presence on this earth, allowing us to wake up with our right limbs and mind, Father. Thank you for another great broadcast with PKM Media Group and associates as well as Raheem for bringing us on and allow us to share what we learned in our life and give you glory to every move that we make. As we depart from this, ask that you keep your hedge of protection over us, that you keep any virus, sickness, any ill will, as well as you continue to prosper along our lands, increase our territories, and put into the hearts of people to share this. That way the message keeps going and keeps growing around the world. And we do this in the Lord Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Cassandra, anything on your heart? Cassandra?
No, thank you guys so much for always sharing from your hearts and from the spirits. And it's been a great broadcast. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Praise God. To God be the glory.
And you know what, Raheem, I have to say this, Annette Davis Jackson. I want to say, as a woman, I so love men. So I just give kudos to you men. Praise Good, God. Bad, and different. We need you, right? Yes. We need you. We need you. We desperately need you.
Absolutely. And appreciate that. Since we need y'all too. It's a collective thing that we have to do, and we have to come together and make it happen on a realistic scale, but we can definitely make it happen. Tucson, yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were still going around. Go ahead.
Tucson, I saw you bring your camera back on. You got something on your heart, brother?
No, man, I would just want to know that I agree very much. We need them as much as without. It's a man's world, but it ain't nothing without a woman. That's a true
without a woman.
Oh,
without
Lord,
a woman.
Now we got people trying to say, Lord, let it.
Raheem, I forgot one thing.
Okay, I knew you had something on your heart. What's going on?
I'm my organization, WOW, was in our homeless and needy family time. So I'm desperately trying to get more throw blankets for the homeless. I'll be going out on Saturday morning to different bridge areas and areas where I normally go to the homeless. So if anyone in the area would like to get some throw blankets, Walmart has them for $3.
Okay.
The throw blankets that I give out, and socks. I'm looking for socks as well. So please, I need help. Help me if you can.
Absolutely. And we're gonna talk after the broadcast. How's our sister doing?
She's out of the hospital.
Look at God. Good deal.
She's out of the hospital.
Leonard?
Yes, remember today, the 21st, gun safety awareness event hosted by the City of South Fulton Police Department and Packin' Pretty Firearms LLC. You can go to City of South Fulton Gun Safety.eventbrite.com to register. That's COSF gunsafety.eventbrite.com. That event is today. The first session is 12 to 2 and the second session is 3 to 5. It's posted on their Facebook page. You can go to the City of South Fulton's Facebook page, and it's going to be held at the Southwest Arts Center today, 915 New Hope Road, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, 30331. Also, if you have not, if you're in a situation where you don't have health insurance, double check to make sure. I'm not sure if they have extended the deadlines or not. But I know definitely by December the 31st, if you got to, look into that health care if you don't have health care. It's very important that you try to get that.
Absolutely. And on that note, we're about to get out of here for today. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now 10:18. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And then we shine some of this out of you from the Morning Glow. take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. You get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other, and please be blessed. Before I go, Rico, is something on your heart, brother?
Oh no, man. I mean, everything good, man. You know what I'm saying? I know the conversation went a little sideways when that question got asked about, where it seemed like there was being a double standard. And like I said, I think I agree with the women, but I just hope that they understand that there's a lot of things that women don't understand about being a man. That's the reason why, that she said she was dealing with men that acted like women now, responded a lot like women. And I think I made the point about them being raised by women. But at the same time, influence is very heavy. It's so heavy that not only is Cassandra going through celibacy, but I'm still in mine.
There you go. There you go. And on that note,
yay for celibacy! Yay! Oh,
Lord,
I'm sorry.
Lord, I don't know what just happened. Look, Leonard, I don't know what just happened.
Worth you know, Ma, don't get me started. That's worth celebrating.
Yeah.
That's worth celebrating.
Look. Tucson, I ain't going to you, man. Nope.
There's a reason behind it. Some people listen to hear those words and they just think, they just respond because they don't have bad experiences. Man, listen, most of the worst experiences I have had in my life boiled all the way down to the root of trying to be attractive enough to a woman to get in her panties, and then actually getting in her panties.
Yep. Exactly.
I've had so many downfalls behind my sexual activity. So, sometimes you have to just get extreme and say, you know what, let me just stop indulging.
And see, and that's a grown folk conversation that we got to have. That's a grown folk conversation right there. And we have to have that conversation. But on that note, man, it's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody again. Have a great day. Love you. And do me a favor. Take care of each other because we need each other. We really do. Have a great day.